Iran and the winner of a European playoff between Scotland, Ukraine, and Wales. That last team will be decided in June. The women's Final Four doubleheader is tonight in Minneapolis on ESPN starting at 7 Eastern with South Carolina against Louisville, followed by Stanford and UConn. Tomorrow night in New Orleans, the men's Final Four tips off with Kansas against Villanova. Jayhawks coach Bill Self.
They're unbelievably sound. They're fundamental. They don't turn it over. You have to beat them. They don't beat themselves. And in our sport, there's probably more games lost than there are games actually won.
The nightcap tomorrow is Duke and North Carolina. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports the Lakers may have LeBron James back on the floor tonight against the Pelicans. He's missed the last 2 games with a sprained left ankle. Anthony Davis may be a game-time decision for the Lakers tonight. He's been out with a sprained right foot.
The new Venture X card from Capital One. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel. Plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One.
Yeah, say it in
What's
your head.
in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We are in the world-famous French Quarter in New Orleans. Final Four weekend. This city is absolutely in fuego. Alive. So cool to see, man. Driving down here, made it intentional to come up Poydras, down Canal before we got to this spot at the Coterie, at the corner of Decatur and Iberville. And, man, you see Duke, Carolina, Kansas, Nova fans everywhere. The pop-ups are all over the place. There's so much fan interaction going on. Just a beautiful weekend to be here in New Orleans. If you live in Louisiana, it's the best time of year. It is sunny, 72, gorgeous, and the city is alive. It is so cool to be down here for Final Four weekend. And certainly welcome to all of the fans from other parts of the country that are down here. So we got a ton to do here over the next 3 hours. LSU baseball took it on the chin last night. They lose game 1 to Auburn. We will talk about that. Kim Mulkey in 15 minutes, National Coach of the Year, Kim Mulkey. We will talk Final Four with Ian O'Connor. He's got a book about Coach K. He's with us next hour. Theriot via phone in hour 3. We'll talk some baseball. So we got a lot to get to here. We are locked, loaded, and ready to roll. This Final Four is certainly has taken over the city, and you got 4 teams that are here, 3 of the 4 winningest programs in the history of college basketball, with Kansas, Duke, and Carolina. The only one missing, of course, is Kentucky. But then you look at Villanova, and Villanova is arguably the best program of the last decade. They've been to Final Fours in 2016, 18, and now again in 22. Jay Wright has won titles in 16 and 18. So even the team that isn't the legendary Blue Blood is still one of the winningest programs here the last decade. So what a weekend it'll be here. We'll delve into all of these matchups and what we can expect of the Final Four. When we filled out our brackets at the start of the tournament, I did pick Duke to win it. I tend to go chalk and talent. And when you look at Duke's roster, there will never be a time where Duke's 5 dudes on the floor where any of them are not NBA players. Like, they just have the most talent. And that's just what it's chalk, I get it, but that's just what I tend to pick in the tournament. I go, who has the most talent? So I had Duke winning it. I had him beating Arizona, who's not here, but nonetheless, I do think Duke's going to beat North Carolina. I think Kansas is going to beat Villanova, although Villanova's defense, I think, is going to be fascinating. Their pace of play, can they slow it down, play the game at their pace? 2 really interesting games, but Coach K, Duke, Carolina in the national semifinal. First time Duke and Carolina in the NCAA tournament in their history. It's just what amazing theater, and that's going to take place here just blocks from us at the Superdome on Saturday. All right, let's delve a little bit into LSU baseball as the Tigers lose last night. Game 1 to Auburn, 6-5. It really was just the same old song and dance for this LSU baseball team. They don't have great front-line starting pitching, so they've got to piece it together, get good enough pitching, play solid defense, and really slug their way. Of the three phases, offense, of course, is LSU's superpower. Defense is their great weakness. They've got good arms, but they kind of have to piece it together in an unconventional style. And LSU just wasn't able to do it. It was one bad inning defensively that cost them the game. Here was Jay Johnson after the loss.
Great job, battling until the end. That's a tough one just because if we just play through the original mistake a little bit better, that game doesn't get away from us. Sure, if you don't make the mistake, there's a 0 on the board. We might throw a shutout tonight. Maybe not. But if we can just play through that mistake, and the margin between winning and losing with all of these teams in the league is so small, you have to be able to get up after something goes bad. And so hopefully we'll learn from that and be better for it tomorrow.
The mistake that Jay Johnson is referring to, of course, was the mistake at first base, and that was Trey Morgan. And if you go to the 5th inning, that was the game-altering moment. LSU led off the game with a home run from Cade Doty. They get a solo homer from Hayden Travinski. LSU's up 2-0. They had other possibilities offensively. They get into the 5th inning. You have 2 on, first and second with nobody out. Auburn chooses to bunt. Never bunt, kids. So it's second and third with 1 out. Blake Money gets the pop-up on the infield and looks like he's going to pitch his way out of it. And Jay Johnson elects to stay with Blake Money, which clearly was the right decision because he favored the matchup and he got what he wanted, which was a ground ball to the right side. And listen, I don't care how old you are. As a T-ball player in park leagues in New Orleans, I was told just get in front of the baseball. Use your chest. Knock it down. And Trey Morgan didn't do that. I'm not saying the loss is on Trey Morgan, but he's probably your best defender on the entire team. You have a ground ball to the right side. Yes, it was a hard-hit ball, but he tried to pick it instead of putting his body in front of it. Move your body, get in front of the baseball, knock it down, and make the throw to first base with the pitcher covering, and you're out of the inning with no damage. Instead, Morgan tries to pick it. The ball goes under his glove. 2-run score. They intentionally walk. I guess that was the point where they had intentionally walked Sonny DeShera. And then Blake Money can't get over that mistake mentally. He serves up a meatball, and it's a 3-run homer. And now you're down 5-2. And then Cade Doty commits an error. Another run scores. It's 6-2. And LSU just couldn't dig themselves out of the hole. They had chances. Braden Jobert homers to pull you within a couple of runs. It really looked like Drew Bianco had got it all in the 8th. Then in the 9th, you get your first 2 on. Dylan Cruz is up. He hits a bomb to center field. When it left the bat, I thought Dylan Cruz had won the game. That guy, when he puts that kind of swing on a ball and gets all of it, most parks aren't going to hold it. He had a crosswind. It got knocked down at the track. He was right at the 405 sign. He hit it 400 feet. He was 5 feet shy of winning the ball game. He hit the holy hell out of that baseball. The park held it. So, and then Jordan Thompson was going to get 1 pitch to hit, and he was sitting fastball on the first pitch, and he yanked it down the left field line. He got all of it. He was just a little out front. That could have been a game-tying double down the line, and maybe you win it after that with Braden Jobert, but you didn't. Thompson fouls out to right, and the game ends 6-5. It's a game where Auburn scored in 1 inning. Auburn scored all of their runs in 1 inning. And if you play solid defense behind your pitcher, they get no runs in that inning, and you win the ballgame. But you didn't. So that's the margin of error for this team. The pitching is unconventional. The defense is bad. The offense is elite. But the offense is going to have to shoulder the load for this team. One thing we certainly learned last week was don't melt after one loss. It is imperative, though, that LSU come back and win tonight behind Mikhail Hilliard and put themselves in position to win the series on Saturday at the box, because your toughest stretch back-to-back is coming up. Road series at State, at Arkansas, back-to-back. That's your toughest 2-week stretch of the entire season. So go find a way to win this series, just like you did last week. after losing game one, coming back to win the series. Go find a way to win this series and hope that you can come out of the next 2 weekends 500 so your head's above water in the league going into the second half of league play, and hopefully you really hit your stride by then. Disappointing. There's no other way around it. Certainly great to see K. Doty with the leadoff homer. Stravinsky hit an absolute missile to left. Braden Joubert continues his hot streak. He did strike out a couple of times, but that is so indicative of the pro game now, where Joubert was 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, but the one was a 2-run homer. So that is a pro offensive player all day, where you can hit 200, but if you hit 50 home runs in a season, it don't matter if you hit 200 if you're changing the scoreboard every time you connect. So Joubert's doing better than 200, of course. But disappointing loss for the Tigers, but it's baseball, chance to get back on the horse. Bryce Collins was really good last night, going 3 2/3, 72 pitches. It saved the bullpen to allow LSU the opportunity tonight to have everybody at their disposal to try to go win this game, to set up a deciding Game 3, a rubber match on Saturday. So disappointing, but Tigers lose Game 1, 6-5 to Auburn. They're back at it tonight at 6:30 p.m. All right, it's After Further Review presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We are in New Orleans for the Final Four. The national semifinals are tomorrow. The national championship game is on Monday. Of course, someone who knows an awful lot about winning national championships is LSU women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey, who yesterday claimed Associated Press National Coach of the Year honors for the 3rd time in her career. Kim Mulkey is going to join us next. We're glad you're with us here on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company all in one place. Agent225.com. Agent225.com. If you need to sell your home, do what I did. Call Darren James. When Eric and I were moving and we listed our home, Darren listed it. Within the first day, he had our home sold. Because Darren has a Rolodex, a back office of buyers looking for exactly what you're selling. So as soon as your market goes as soon as your home goes on the market, he's got buyers lined up looking for exactly what you're selling. That's how you get qualified buyers. That's how you get to a closing table faster with Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. That's agent225.com. Buying or selling, if you need to sell your home, you need Darren James. 335-7666 or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more.
Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
I'm glad you're all along with us here. We are in the French Quarter at the Coterie, corner of Decatur and Iberville. The Final Four national semifinals are tomorrow. Driving into the city, notice still so many blue tarps from Ida. Remember, if you're in need of a roof repair, roof replacement, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. I tell you every day, do business with someone you know. That's me, that's Richard Tilley, that's Ryan Theriot. We will gladly give you a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. And, of course, we can work with your insurance company to get your claim approved. We're happy to do it for you. We're never going to knock on your door, but we'll always give you great service. When you're ready, we're here for you at Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Well, we got teased yesterday on Twitter when Kim Mulkey was boarding a jet, and a short time later we found out why. She was heading up to Minneapolis, the home of the women's Final Four this year, to collect AP Coach of the Year honors, and Kim Mulkey's good enough to join us for a couple of minutes. Coach, our sincere congratulations. Thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I got to watch it, man. People must be stalking me. I could have been going to Texas to see my grandkids. That's funny you just said that.
Well, I think we all got a little bit of a heads up. So, and we all got to see via the women's basketball Twitter that they did surprise you with the announcement in the team room. Can you kind of walk us through that when you found out and what that reaction was like for you?
Well, yeah, I can't remember when. It was before our last game. I didn't know. The players obviously knew, and my coaches, they set something up and asked me if I would go at the beginning of practice. They wanted to show me something on film, and I thought, well, I've never had a team ask me to do that, so what is it? So I went in there with them, and I sat down, and they just flashed this AP Coach of the Year, and I caught on to it initially, and I jumped up and I cheered with them, and then they turned the television on live with Kramer and Mackenzie and my grandson Cannon. So they were trying to tell me that I won AP Coach of the Year, and then I realized it. I said, is this real? And they said, yes. I thought initially they felt that I deserved it, and they were just trying to give me a feel-good moment, Coach, we love you, that kind of thing, but it was real. And so I just talked to them about that award is because of what you've done, not really what I've done. If you don't have players, coaches don't win awards. And so it was right before we played in the playoffs. So that's how I initially found out about it. And don't get me wrong, that's an honor. But really, it's so much more than just me. I just am so happy for LSU. I'm so happy for the state of Louisiana on a national platform right now. It's a positive. And if you guys remember, that's all I wanted to be when I came here, is just be a positive.
Kim Mulkey's our guest. Also, when you came here, Coach, you did say that, and you cautioned, you said, this isn't going to happen overnight. Well, it kind of did. You set a pretty high bar for yourself here. Did this success in year one surprise even you?
I'm never surprised when we win, nor am I afraid to fail. Yes, let's be realistic. I didn't know these players. I saw them play from afar. I looked at the statistics. I looked at the record. I saw what we had returning. I knew the two players I brought in with me. You cannot put goals like that in a notebook or on the board for them because it's not fair. And when we started winning and we started winning and it started winning and we were winning those close games the previous year, they were losing. I thought, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to win those close games. And it started with those seniors. And then their confidence grew. My confidence in them grew. And we had an unbelievable year. But I want to make sure everybody understands I don't change my mind when I tell you this was a jump start. It's like a battery in a car. It'll go dead, but that battery is not going to last too much longer. You're basically recruits coming in next year, and they're freshmen. They got to play. They're going to be thrown to the wolves. We've got young ones that didn't, and they're going to be thrown to the wolves. So it was a way to get everybody excited. It was an unexpected year, but guys, I want people to understand you can feed a monster too early. And we fed that monster this year, but now we got to be careful. Let's don't tone the excitement down, but let's be fair to the next group.
It's going to be hard to tamp down the excitement, but I know that's what you want. You want excitement around this program, and you certainly have it. You alluded to something else there, which is interesting. And I remember when you were hired, and Ryan Theriot was sitting beside me, and we chatted with you right after you were hired on a Friday, and we kind of asked what the pitch was going to be like to recruits. And I'm curious if it changes at all when you've had the success that you had, where you said, "Look, now I've got skins on the wall at LSU to show we can do it." Does your pitch, does your conversation with recruits change at all? Hey, guys, did we lose Coach?
Oh,
wait, there she is.
Can you hear me?
There you are, Coach. Sorry, I think we might have lost your cell just for a quick second there.
That's okay. The recruiting pitch doesn't change. If you'll recall, we signed in some polls the number 15th recruiting class in the country. We signed our first McDonald's All-American with this staff at LSU. We did that before we ever knew what kind of season we were going to have. So what we had to do is we had to sell what we did at Baylor, my success there, and all those things. And they had to believe in us. And so now that we have put a product on the floor, it brings more exposure, and we're going to continue to recruit the same way. And, hopefully we'll get some people out of the transfer portal. And but you don't want to build your program on just transfers. You got to get some that have experience in here to go with those young ones, but continue to recruit the high school player and develop those guys.
Coach, I know at the press conference yesterday you were there alongside Leah Boston from South Carolina. I don't know to what degree you're comfortable talking about. Do you have a feeling on this year's women's Final Four and how it might all play out there in Minneapolis?
I don't. You certainly want to pull for those in your league. South Carolina's in our league, and while we want to beat them every time we play them, you always want to pull for people that are in your conference. Stanford's the defending national champions. You've got an excited bunch in Louisville, and everybody pretty much pulls against Geno and UConn and think they always get the easiest bracket. So you got some history there with 3 coaches that have won national championships. Louisville has not. Jeff Walsh has not won one. And then on the men's side, you got the Blue Bloods, right? So New Orleans ought to be hopping this weekend.
Yeah, it's a scene down here for sure. We're thrilled to be here. Have you, before you go, Coach, have you had a chance to get to know any of the coaches that are here for the men's championship with Coach K, or if it's Hubert Davis or Jay Wright or Bill Self? You got a chance to know any of the men's coaches that are down here?
Well, I know Bill Self. Bill Self and I were talked about quite a bit in the Big 12. He's the at the very top of the Big 12, and everybody wants to knock him off. How many Big 12 titles has he won for Kansas? And we were always talked about along those lines at Baylor. We won 23 Big 12 titles, 12 at that time, 11 in a row. So certainly I know Bill Self more on a personal level than any of the others. Roy Williams, I got to know him after one of our championships. He had won the championship at North Carolina, and we both were at the Winged Foot Award afterwards in New York City and got to visit with him some. Never, ever have I met Krzyzewski. Isn't that ironic? I watched Hubert Davis play, but I've never met Krzyzewski in my life.
Well, we're looking for great theater this weekend on both the women's and the men's side. It's a great time of year. It's a great time to celebrate basketball and certainly celebrate the accomplishments that you and your team had this year, Coach. Our sincere congrats. We're very grateful for all the time you gave us during the season, and we'll call on you again during the off season and plenty. But congrats. Hope you get some time to enjoy it with family. We'll look forward to talking again soon.
Thank you, guys.
That is our pleasure. Kim Mulkey, LSU head women's basketball coach, Hall of Famer Kim Mulkey, certainly knows her way around a Final Four weekend, and what a great accomplishment and deserved. I could have poked the bear a little with her not winning SEC Coach of the Year, yet winning National Coach of the Year. Decided to keep it celebratory, which is the vibe of this whole weekend and should be. Maybe somewhere down the line we'll get a chance to throw that one out to Coach. But just such a deserving honor for Kim Mulkey to be the National Coach of the Year. Just and I want to be clear, in no way am I saying that Dawn Staley is not deserving. Is she not a great coach? But in the same vein that every year Aaron Rodgers could be NFL MVP or Tom Brady. They're the best player in the league. But you have to consider what transpired in an individual season. And what Kim Mulkey did was just absolutely incredible this year with that Lady Tiger team. So congrats to Coach. We tried to catch up with her yesterday. Schedule just didn't work out great with her traveling to Minneapolis and then back with our time constraints on air. But we're very, very grateful for her for making some time today, as she has really all throughout the year. All right, it is After Further Review. We're here at the Coterie in the French Quarter. If you're going to make it down to New Orleans, this is an awesome spot. They're open from 8 a.m. until. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, they're open right on the corner of Decatur and Iberville. So if you're in the French Quarter, I love it. It's an old building that they have modern finishes. It's awesome. I mean, beautiful bar area, 2 different bars. If you want to sit at the bar, you can. They got a restaurant area, which is just gorgeous. So y'all come by on a beautiful day like this. My goodness, just awesome. Great time to be in the Quarter, and we're glad to have you down with us here. All right, it is After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. We're going to get to Around the SEC. Also, Ian O'Connor, who penned a book about Mike Krzyzewski. He's going to be with us in 32 minutes to start hour number 2. Theriot's here in hour 3. Glad you're hanging out with us here on a Friday edition of AFR. Don't you move.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by, I have it somewhere. There it is. The Baton Rouge General Hospital. brgeneral.org. brgeneral.org for the Baton Rouge General Hospital. Tell you all the time, expanding health care in the greater Baton Rouge area. That is the Baton Rouge General Hospital. And remember, their express care locations are open. 7 days a week, walk-in urgent care. So if you find yourself in need of urgent care, even if you're talking about an X-ray machine, an EKG, they do all that. If it's maybe just allergies or sinus infections, but you don't want to wait to see the doctor, but it's not severe enough that you need to go to the emergency room, any of the Baton Rouge General Express Care locations are fantastic. You can check in online. You can check the wait times on their app as well. It's the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org for the Baton Rouge General Hospital.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but 2 NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
sky. I've got that sunshine.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, look what I found! The motivation I needed to live healthier.
My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed. Time for myself. We found our why.
Have you found yours?
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Failure happens to us all.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
So all of the attention, or should I say much of the attention, of course, is on Duke, North Carolina. Jay Wright was asked at his media availability if he feels like Kansas-Villanova is nothing more than the undercard.
You know, when you say it, I get it. Somebody else did say that to me. I'm so worried about Kansas, honest to God. When I get out here and I have to answer the questions, I think about other things. They're so fast. And what's really impressive about them is there's teams that play in transition fast. There's a lot of teams that do that. In their half-court offense, they cut so fast. I remember watching a game just on a big Monday game or something. They were playing Texas Tech, and it was the end of the game. It was in Lawrence, and they had to get a three, and they passed and cut, and I was like, holy man, I'm glad we don't have to play them. Now here we are, right? So I'm not into I don't think about that at all. I'm so into our game.
Jay Wright and the Villanova Wildcats, they won a couple of titles under Jay Wright, 2016, 2018, now the third Final Four since 2016, his fourth as the head coach of the Villanova Wildcats. Just one of the four teams here in New Orleans. Also in New Orleans is our buddy Mintzy, Ben Mintz from Barstool Sports, good enough to join us here as he's got a lot going on this weekend. Mintzy, I know you're short on time, man, but I appreciate you for making time. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. I want to first thank you for donating to our Team Portnoy Hawks Cause team. I know, obviously, you have a lot of experience dealing with kids going through a lot of stuff like that, and I really appreciate you supporting us. I'm right outside the walk-ons right now on Voidress. We're getting ready to have a Barstool live show with Dave and Big Cat and the whole crew. We got a big crowd, and then I was out at Hogs all morning setting up. Man, we couldn't ask for a more this is the most beautiful day in New Orleans I've seen in a long time, and we're set up. It's going to be a huge throwdown out at UNO tonight and tomorrow, and it's going to get super wild till 4 or 5 a.m. out there late tonight. Manny Fresh and Juvenile are playing all night. We got a black flame late tonight. I mean, it's going to be a whole scene. And we got great weather, and we're going to be out there again tomorrow. Hopefully it won't be too rainy. But doing the Hogs deal, I'm going to the title game Monday night. We're going to do another walk-on show on Monday. So, yeah, crazy weekend. But, I'm just trying to do everything I can for New Orleans and Barstool, and I'm feeling really good about the effort.
Hey, man, I want to ask you about your picks for the games in a second. But first, I've noticed a lot that you, and I know T-Bob and Rivers and a lot of the whole gang have done with Hogs for the Cause. And I didn't really know much about it other than you all just kind of tweeting about it until I started researching yesterday. Just give our audience sort of the Cliff's Notes version of what it is that you are doing with Hogs for the Cause.
Okay, so this event they just started out with the founders, Becker and Renee, cooking barbecue out in the Fly in New Orleans on the Mississippi River in 2009. They had a family friend whose son had pediatric brain cancer. I think they gave him like $700 the first year, and now it's morphed into a 90-team world-class barbecue and music festival that's 2 days in New Orleans every year, and all the money goes for families fighting pediatric brain cancer. And this is relevant to Baton Rouge, because they're now building Hogs houses that are similar to Ronald McDonald houses, and they have one in New Orleans by the Children's Hospital, and right now under construction by the Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital is the first Hogs Baton Rouge house. And my goal with Team Portnoy, if we raise $100,000, we're going to have a Barstool walk-on Team Portnoy room in the new Hogs house in Baton Rouge. And so we're doing pretty good so far. I don't know if I could get to 100 on my own, but I think I got the right friends to help me get there. So we're trying.
You're on your way, man. And I can tell you, I think much of our audience knows this. What my wife and I went through with Drew, whether it's pediatric brain cancer or anything, whatever in particular you are dealing with, like the financial burden on a family is more than most families can deal with, and without the support of organizations like this, it's just not possible. Like our family would have been. I don't even know what to say, what it would have been. So I'm happy to help pay it forward in a small way that I can. So how do people, if they want to participate in the event, Mitzi, can they still do it? And if they just want to donate, how do they do it?
Okay, so my link is up on my Twitter, our Team Portnoy Hogs donation link. If I can, I'll get you to share it out too. It's just you donate online. And if anybody's giving big donations, just message me and I can get tax forms for them. It's tax write-offs too because it's charity. So. But today at the captain's meeting, a dad was up with his 4-year-old daughter who has inoperable brain cancer. And, I'm still choked up from what I saw up there and how much Hogs meant to their family. And I just can't find a more noble cause to help support. And I'm really grateful that I can use the Barstool platform to help support something I believe in so much. So, y'all can donate to Team Portnoy as low as $5 is great. There's a lot of strength in numbers.
We'll make sure we share the link on all of our socials. Before you go, give me some picks on the semis tomorrow, man. Who do you like?
I'm taking both underdogs. I just always take dogs in rivalry games. UNC's got nothing to lose. They're an 8 seed. They're playing fearless. Villanova, I'm a little more sketchy on because, that injury really, really hurts them because they were only 6 or 7 deep. But, man, Villanova just knows how to grind out these tournament games. Gillespie, they make big shots. And, I think Kansas, as great as they played in the second half against Miami, they had the weakest draw of any team to get here. So I'm taking the 2 underdogs, and we'll see what happens.
You got a pick in the championship game if it comes down to Kansas UNC?
Man, my heart wants to see Carolina win it, but we'll see. I've always liked Carolina. So I wouldn't. I'd say that's a lot more of a heart than take your money out and put it on it.
I got you, man. All right, we're going to share out all the links. Y'all support Mintzy
awesome.
and Hogs for the Cause
Thank
if
you so
can.
much. Come on with it. All right, thank you for having me, man.
All right, Mintzy. Thank you, bro. We'll see. I know Mintzy's got to run. He's got a show coming up here in 20 minutes at Walk-Ons on. They're on Porgers at the Walk-Ons, and I know it's a lot of the Barstool guys that are going to be over there with Mintzy. If you want to go there, we're here at the Coterie, Decatur and Iberville. If you want to come hang out, if you're in the quarter, this is an awesome spot. Highly recommend you come check us out. No, just one quick follow-up there to what Mintz was saying about Hogs for the Cause. And look, it's a super celebratory weekend and fun, and I don't want to go too heavy into like the tugging on the emotional heartstrings, but we lived through that. Like we lived through that with Drew when we had to relocate to Houston, and we did the hospital life for 9 months. And in a very literal sense, we had so much support. And I don't really talk about this much on air because it's a sports show and it's not really the reason we're here every day. But there were so many days when we were in the hospital that just randomly checks would show up in the mail from total strangers who just knew our story, heard it, and just sent us money. There were so many amazing people that did fundraisers. Good friends like Darren James and Brandon Holly at Relief Windows. And I'm starting naming names. I'm going to leave people out. It's been so long now. But, like, Theriot, Alex Bregman. I mean, now Jacques Doucet, like it's sparking in my brain. Gordy and Guaranteed did so. Anyway, my point is, like, when I actually let my brain go back to what it was like in that time, I can't even. If you've lived this, you know exactly what I mean. But it just you can't do it alone. You just can't. So you just become so grateful for people who are generous and giving, and you just graciously accept the blessings that are brought into your life, man. And I mean, I've always been immensely grateful, for our family. And so when I saw what, Hogs for the Cause was, which is, they support families of children with pediatric brain cancer, and they're building a room at the Our Lady of Lake Children's Hospital in Baton Rouge. I mean, when you think about it, there's people who can't afford to move cities or pay 2 rents or a mortgage. The financial burden is just massive. And, places like that, Ronald McDonald House, the Hogs House that they're building, Our Lady of the Lake, it matters. It matters so much. And again, everybody's super passionate about charities and things that have largely shaped or affected your life, which I totally understand and respect. So whatever it is that you're passionate about, I get it, but you can then probably in turn see why I'm passionate about this, because we lived it. So it's an awesome thing. If you can support, please do. Please do. So Mintz, I know, tweeted out the links, and we'll go ahead and make sure we share them out on the Muse. If you would, please, would you grab those links and share them on the ESPN social as well, the Facebook and the Twitter, so everybody can see them. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. So we are going to get into around the SEC. Mincy was just available then, so I wanted to make sure we fit him in and didn't mess up the clock too badly. So we'll knock out a break. We'll come back, go around the SEC. We're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com. Michelli.com, they're actually not far from where we are right now. Michelli Weighing and Measurement in Harahan, 75 years in business, founded here in New Orleans. Now they're sea to shining sea with 29 different calibration labs across 11 different states, 6 here in Louisiana. So, look, you got options. I mean, you can pack up all of your devices and you can ship them off to calibration labs all over the country, but that's not really cost-effective or efficient. What is, call Michelli, have them come to your office, pick up your devices, and bring them back to their lab, calibrate it, bring it back to you. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Check out the industries they serve and all the things that they offer there. Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Final break of hour number 1. We'll come back. We'll do around the SEC, kind of set the stage for the SEC baseball weekend ahead. Tons of news and notes from the Final Four. And in 17 minutes from right now, Ian O'Connor is going to join us. Ian O'Connor has penned a book about Mike Krzyzewski and his legendary career. So looking forward to that perspective as Coach K will call it a career this weekend here in New Orleans. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit dreams come true. And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these incredible kids, and each and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll ever know.
And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we ask for your support in helping this incredible cause.
Our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yeah, I mean, it's self-explanatory. You know, big game for us. We know that. They know that. So our job is to make sure we show up and be ready to play, regardless of who's playing, who's not. We don't know what that looks like. So
that is Russell Westbrook. After the Lakers lost last night to the Jazz, 122-109. We talked about it. It's a role reversal from last weekend when the Lakers were in New Orleans. And New Orleans was playing 3 games in 4 days, and they were playing the second of a back-to-back. Well, New Orleans now has the layoff, and the Lakers have had a little bit of a road swing, Dallas and then the Jazz, and now second of a back-to-back tonight. At Crypto.com Arena, it's a big, big spot for New Orleans as the slumping Lakers are now 31-45. We've talked about this a good bit. That's a team that has seen its schedule for the last dozen games of the season was one of the toughest in the NBA. They've now slipped into the 11 spot. They're even with the Spurs with a 31-45 record, but the Spurs hold the tiebreaker. So the Pels right now a full 2 games ahead of the Lakers. So even a loss tonight to the Lakers would still keep the Pelicans a game ahead of L.A. But you're talking about an L.A. team that is going to be tired, that is going to be taxed, that is going to be certainly desperate in this ball game tonight. And remains to be seen about Anthony Davis and LeBron, although we are all assuming because of the magnitude of this game, it's really one game for two that both of them are going to play. But here was Lakers coach Frank Vogel today on his two stars.
We do feel like we're going to get them back at some point, and we have to stay in the fight, and we have to give ourselves a chance. If we're able to get into the playing game at full strength, we know we got a shot. So, this would have been a big win for us, to help with the cause there. We fell short. Tomorrow's even bigger, obviously, with the head-to-head with the Pelicans, and hopefully we can get that one.
So again, it's a big one tonight. It is a 9:30 local Central Time, 9:30 Central Time tip. So it's a late tip tonight because it's out in L.A. So 9:30 Central. You can watch it on NBA TV. You can listen on our New Orleans affiliate, 100.3 ESPN New Orleans. Of course, Graf will have the call there. But even still, after this game, the Lakers still have Denver, Phoenix. They're home against Denver, at Phoenix, at Golden State, home against OKC, and then at Denver again. So they might be favored in one game the rest of the Lakers might be favored in one game the rest of the way. So even if the Pels slip tonight against a really motivated Lakers team that could be getting LeBron and AD back, what's still ahead of the Lakers, I don't know how they emerge from this with a winning record. Pels are a 1-point favorite in the ball game tonight. So really, look, you can watch some LSU baseball tonight, and then when LSU baseball is ending around that time, Pels and Lakers should be tipping. So if you're looking to make a good night of it, you can with a ton of sports going on. All right, it is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, bumper-to-bumper auto service, and name-brand tires at wholesale prices. Remember, they had 17 locations. The newest location is the Denham Springs location. So the LP, Livingston Parish, you got your own Shawbills now. Hey, remember that Coursey location, because they would pull so much from Denham. Denham has its own location now. It's lightened up a little bit at Coursey, so you're not going to wait as long. You might be able to get there sooner than you think. ShawBillsTire.com, where they treat you like family. Family-owned and operated for more than 50 years. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. All right, because we had to flip it, let's do it right now. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Texas A&M Aggies.
Xavier stopped A&M just short of the NIT title. A tip in with seconds remaining in the ball game. Tyrese Radford, his buzzer beater, rattled in and out for the Aggies. And ultimately, Xavier would beat Texas A&M 73-72. So the Aggies come up just short after being snubbed on the NCAA tournament. Just come up just short from an NIT title. So Xavier finishes the season 23-13. The Aggies finish their season 27-13, winners of 12 of its final 15 game, and an 8-game losing streak that was snapped mid-February before their run. On the baseball diamond last night in the SEC, Auburn beat LSU 6-5 at the box. Georgia, a winner at home against Florida in a ranked-on-ranked matchup in the league. 23rd ranked Georgia, they beat Florida 7-6, game 2 tonight in Athens. When you look at the rest of the SEC schedule, which will get underway tonight, we'll run through it for you quickly. As we mentioned, Florida-Georgia game 2. Ole Miss is on the road in Lexington at Kentucky. Arkansas hosts Mississippi State, which should be a really good series up there in Fayetteville. The big one nationally in college baseball, number 1 Tennessee at 9th ranked Vanderbilt. The secondary market prices for that have been absurd. Actually, SEC Network showed the secondary market ticket price for that baseball game is higher than the get-in price here at the Final Four. So number 1 Tennessee at number 9 Vanderbilt in Nashville. Game 1 at 6 o'clock Central on ESPN2. South Carolina is at Missouri in the pillow fight of the league this weekend. A&M travels to Tuscaloosa to take on Alabama. And the nightcap, 6:30 Central Time, is Auburn at LSU, game 2, as the LSU Tigers trying to even up this series here at the box tonight. There you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products, online at gcopnet.com. gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales service after the sale. That's what you get at Gulf Coast Office Products. Proudly sell the Savin line, but they will service all makes and models at Gulf Coast Office Products, the official office equipment provider of the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans, the LSU Tigers, and the ULL Raging Cajuns. That is Gulf Coast Office Products. If you're a North Carolina fan, make some noise. There's two of them. There's two Tar Heels in here. Who are y'all cheering for? Michigan. Your team's not here. Don't worry. Ours isn't either. It's okay. We're at the Coterie here on the corner of Decatur and Iberville.
30.
City's on fire. It has just been so much fun to be down in the city today. It's a gorgeous day, man. It's 72 degrees. 4 college basketball's Blue Bloods are going to be tipping it off tomorrow in the Dome. And, of course, championship game on Monday. Coach K is going to call it a career after this weekend. Ian O'Connor penned a book about the legendary Mike Krzyzewski. He is going to join us next on After Further Review. We're glad to have you with us here on Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Don't you move. Hour 2 is next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. Tell you every single day, if you want to feel like your younger self, there is a way. Every single human, as we age, our body produces less of the hormones that contribute to how we feel. Whether you sleep well at night, do you wake up with energy? Are you motivated to get in the gym? Are you able to build lean muscle? Are you able to burn fat? As we age, that becomes harder and harder and harder. Well, it doesn't have to be. A simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. Go to the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Dr. Todd Howell will oversee your care like he does mine. He can help you just like he did me. TheAntiAgingClinics.com. TheAntiAgingClinics.com for the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. TheAntiAgingClinics.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but 2 NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to front-to-backboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front-to-Back Boat Service.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The motivation I needed to live healthier.
My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed. Time for myself. We found our why.
Have you found yours?
Sportscenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Team USA will play in Group B at the World Cup in Qatar starting in November. The Americans' first game will be against the team that takes the last European spot, Scotland, Ukraine, or Wales. The other teams to face Team USA in group play will be England and Iran. The women's Final Four takes center stage tonight, 7 Eastern for the semifinal doubleheader on ESPN. South Carolina plays Louisville, followed by Stanford and UConn. In that second game, which team has more to gain? ESPN analyst and Stanford grad Chiney Agwumike.
It's UConn because they're trying to reassert their dominance in a year where Paige Beckers missed a number of games and try to say, hey, we're still here. We're still the top team in women's basketball, even though Stanford's going to win.
Chiney Agwumike on KJ and Max. This just in, Mets ace Jacob deGrom will miss his opening day start against the Nationals with a stress reaction in his right shoulder blade. And MLB will have umpires wearing on-field microphones to announce replay reviews this season for fans attending in person and those watching the games.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We are in the heart of the French Quarter, corner of Decatur and Iberville at the Coterie. We are getting primed and prepped for what should be an amazing day for college basketball on Saturday, an amazing day for the entire city of New Orleans, the state of Louisiana, as 4 of college basketball's blue bloods. You could not write the script better. Duke, Carolina for the first time in the history of the tournament in the Final Four in Coach K's last year. And then Kansas and Villanova, just absolutely amazing theater that we're going to be treated to. And you know what? Sometimes you try to write the script, and sometimes as an author, you get really lucky when the forces of mankind conspire as you release a book on Coach Krzyzewski that he makes a Final Four run, and he's going to play Carolina in his last weekend as a coach. But that's what Ian O'Connor has done. He is the author of Coach K, The Rise and Reign of Mike Krzyzewski, and Ian O'Connor's good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us here. How are you, Ian?
Hey, Matt, how are you? I'm here at the Superdome and looking forward to a hell of a game and show tomorrow night.
We got a lot of Carolina fans in the restaurant over here. They are not happy with me having a Coach K guest on right now.
By the way, you should let them know that there are some negatives on Coach K in this book. I probably explore more negatives and more flaws in Coach K's life than anything that's ever been written about him. So that's part of the book as well.
That's pretty fascinating. Do you kind of pinch yourself, though, just before we get into the book and what's going to happen this weekend, like just on the relative just very good luck that you release this book and this run happens?
Yeah, Matt. In fact, my last book was on Belichick. When the book came out, the Patriots won another Super Bowl. So I'm due for a bad bounce, actually. So my suspicion is tomorrow night Carolina wins that game. But no, you have no idea. Actually, when I started the project, I had no idea this would be his final season. I started this project 2.5 years ago. So it is, it's a stroke of luck. And if he had announced that he was retiring and he just stopped instead of having this farewell tour, that really would have hurt the book. But he didn't. And I have to say this. I was there in South Carolina for the second-round game against Michigan State. Everyone sitting there, including myself, who had watched Duke this year a lot, thought they were losing that game. But they grew up in real time in those final 5 minutes, and they showed something they really hadn't shown all year. So that launched them on this run, and it has been a hell of a journey so far.
How much of that has to do with Mike Krzyzewski, given what you've learned about him? Guys, did we lose Ian? Guys, did we lose Ian?
I'm here. I'm still here.
Oh, there you go. Oh, sorry about that. Ian. I don't know. I think we might have dropped there just for a second. So how much of what you just described, that growing up for this team, how much of that has to do with Coach K, given what you've learned about him writing this book?
You know, he actually gave them some more freedom. He switched to his own, which is something I never thought I'd see Mike Krzyzewski do. And when the players asked for him to switch back to man, he agreed to do it. He also did something he said he's never done in his coaching career. At halftime of some of these NCAA tournament games, he has sat there and just talked to them calmly for 5 minutes before getting into strategy and then giving them the pep talk before they went out for the second half. So he's still adapting at age 75. And I think it just shows the greatness of him as a coach. He's probably adapted better, and certainly a lot better than his mentor, Bob Knight, ever did, more than any coach in the history of college basketball. And that's why he's got 1,200-plus victories, and he's got 300 more than Bob Knight, and he's got about, 540 more than John Wooden or close to it. He's adapted to not just the one-and-done aspect of college basketball, but so many other things and how to reach and connect with teenagers. It's not easy for a 75-year-old man to do, but he's proven in this tournament he can still do it. If he wanted to coach again next year, he probably could. But I think you've seen evidence in this tournament as to why Coach K is Coach K, and he's had the career that he's had.
He's on Twitter at Ian_O'Connor, no apostrophe, obviously on Twitter. The links are there to go buy the book. It's Coach K, The Rise and Reign of Mike Krzyzewski. It's Coach K's career will come to an end this weekend in New Orleans. There are so when you talk about a guy like Krzyzewski, who's been in the limelight for 40 years now at Duke, what possibly in this biography, Ian, could be different from what we already know and have known about Coach K for 4 decades?
Well, one thing is just sitting behind his bench. I remember the first time I ever did that in 1999 at the Sweet 16. He's the most profane coach in 36 years of doing this I've ever encountered. 2 hours and 15 minutes of extreme profanity directed at referees, players, assistant coaches, you name it. So everyone, the first time they sit near the Duke bench, they're shocked to kind of see that. But I would say one thing that was surprising in the course of my research and interviewing 275 people is that every Duke player to a man told me that image that Duke has and that Coach K has of doing it the right way and maybe being the last shining city on top of a largely corrupt hill, that doesn't really mean nearly as much to him as just beating you, as winning. That it's a nice side thing that he has there. And you can argue how much of that is reality versus perception, but that all he cares about is just waking up and finding a way at the end of the day to beat you, to finish ahead of you before he goes to bed at night. And that's probably why he does have 1,200-plus victories.
What else, Ian, in the book goes into – look, I mean, you mentioned, like, doing it the right way, the shining city on top of the corrupt hill. People here obviously have been deeply ingrained in what's happened with Will Wade. There's sort of a parallel with Zion and things like that. Are there any hints of any dirt potentially that are mixed in there somehow?
Listen, I talked to a lot of college coaches who feel that the NCAA has given Duke the benefit of the doubt and, frankly, just flat-out breaks when potential eligibility issues come up. Zion Williamson's house was an issue that was looked at. The explanation I was given for that house that family members were using in Durham was one that not every coach thought was one that or that was at least one that should have been investigated further. You look at Corey Maggette back in 1999. He had taken $2,000 from an AAU coach before he enrolled at Duke. He played in 37 victories on that NCAA runner-up team that went 37-2. Why didn't Coach K lose those 37 victories from his record? He was not eligible to play college basketball. And I had coaches tell me if Corey Maggette was on my team, we would have lost those 37 victories. So over the years, at Lance Thomas and the jewelry, there have been cases at Duke where these NCAA issues and questions have been asked, but the NCAA has never really seemed terribly interested in running a very thorough investigation. Now, what Duke's compliance director, Chris Kennedy, will tell you, and he told me for the book On the Record, is our record of compliance, and also if we do something wrong, we have a history of self-reporting it. That's why the NCAA works with us, and that's why we get the benefit of the doubt. It's not because they just want to protect the brand name that is Duke basketball. So it depends on how you look at it. But a lot of coaches out there feel that they've gotten advantages from the NCAA that other programs have not.
He's a 4-time New York Times best-selling author. Coach K, The Rise and Reign of Mike Krzyzewski is the latest bestseller from Ian O'Connor. You can pick it up at Amazon. It's linked on his Twitter account as well, ian-o'connor.com, ian-o'connor.com. Before you go, Ian, and your time much appreciated, do you have a feeling if the storybook ending gets written this weekend in New Orleans?
I think it will, Matt, even though I joked earlier about I'm due for a bad bounce here. I think that they're more talented than Carolina. Now, Carolina is more experienced, and they've got some older players who can really play. And Hubert Davis has done a terrific job connecting with this group late in the season. But I think Duke is just slightly better. I think that there is a little bit more pressure on Carolina than there was when they won that game in Cameron. And I suspect that the winner of this game, either way, will win the national championship. And what would be interesting is if Coach K wins this game and then beats Kansas for the national title Monday night, it'll sort of match up with 91, his first title, when he had that epic Final Four victory over UNLV and then had to come back 2 nights later and beat Kansas. So it'll be a little bit of a full circle thing if it happens that way.
What an amazing parallel. That's a great point. It's almost like the Miracle on Ice. People forget that obviously this wouldn't be the upset of that magnitude, but that wasn't the gold medal game. But it's almost like if you lose the championship game after the big dramatic win, people might lessen the impact of the big dramatic win. Ian, I'm looking forward to diving into the book, man. Job well done. We appreciate a couple of minutes on a busy weekend. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure, Matt. Thanks for having me.
Be well. That is Ian O'Connor, a 4-time New York Times bestselling author. He's on Twitter at Ian_O'Connor, ian-o'connor.com, or you can go to Amazon and buy the book. Anywhere you buy books, you'll be able to find it there. It's a New York Times bestseller. There's just no doubt. I mean, Krzyzewski is one of these larger-than-life figures in the pantheon of sports, certainly of this sport, but really of all sports. I mean, that is his draw. When you spend more than 40 years at one place and you win 5 national titles and possibly a 6th this weekend, you become the winningest coach in the history of that sport. It is Wooden-esque or Belichickian or however you want to say it. I mean, that's where Coach K is in this, when you're kind of known by not a name but a letter. And everyone in this sport knows it, and everyone in American sports knows him and who he is. What I should have asked Ian is how at 75 years old Mike Krzyzewski has not only kept all of his hair but kept it jet black without using any dyes. That's staggering, especially from a guy in his late 30s who's bald. I salute him for good genetics. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Thanks for being here with us on a Friday edition, a gorgeous day here in New Orleans. As we start to get a little bit toward the evening hours after 4 p.m., we're glad to be hanging out here at the Coterie, quarter of Decatur and Iberville. So if you're going to be in the Crescent City this evening or this weekend, or if you are here, stop by. It's a great spot. They have 2 bars in here. 2 different entrances to the spot. They took an old building, which I love, with like the exposed brick, and they added a lot of modern finishes to it. So you get that very classic look, but also the modern look in it. A great beer and booze selection. The menu's fantastic. I mean, I had the firecracker shrimp po' boy earlier today for lunch. Phenomenal food. Couldn't recommend it highly enough. Y'all come make this part of your weekend stop in New Orleans if you're going to be down here at in New Orleans for the Final Four. All right, it's After Further Review. We'll knock out a quick break. When we come back next, do you want to dive a little bit deeper into the matchups of the Final Four? We'll get to that. But LSU basketball has had, they have completed the total turnover of the roster. We'll delve into that when we come back. We're glad to have you aboard with us here on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet. Dine in or carry out 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV, dining, carry out, or delivery, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. You know, I say 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, but I kind of need to expand that. As a matter of fact, I was over at Pluckers on Wednesday of this week, sat down, had dinner at Bluebonnet with Stevie Levy, the king of the wing. They got the Magic Chicken appetizer. They've added the Bliss and Vinegar wing sauce as well, which is a blend of strawberries, coconut, and red serrano peppers. It is phenomenal if you want to give it a try. It's at Pluckers. Also, the Bluebonnet location has added 2 video walls. It's basically 13 feet tall by 8 feet wide.
15.
So you can watch any game you want in spectacular high definition. That's at Pluckers. Nicholson, just
10.
out the campus. Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Remember, at Pluckers, if you like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
I don't know what Cinderella team means, so no, I don't prescribe to that. North Carolina's been to more Final Fours than any program ever. I know that the togetherness of this team and the health of this team has been at an all-time high the last 2 months, and I know that we're playing extremely well and we're deserving of being here. And I know that I'm happy for our players for having the experience of being here.
That is Carolina head coach Hubert Davis. Said he ain't no Cinderella team. 21st Final Four for the Tar Heels. I would subscribe that none are bigger than this one, however. Yes, they are an 8 seed. However, when you look at all of the external factors that go along with this, playing Duke, Mike Krzyzewski's final season, potential to send Coach K out a loser not only at Cameron but in his career, first time they've ever played in the tournament. Just incredible theater that's going to take place at the Caesars Superdome tomorrow night. Carolina's path here to the Final Four. Of course, they beat Marquette 95-63 in the opening round in that 8-9 game. And then they rallied to beat Baylor in overtime. Came back from a big deficit and ultimately won it in overtime, 93-86. They beat fourth-ranked UCLA in the Sweet 16, and then, of course, no trouble at all with an overmatched St. Peter's team in the Elite Eight last weekend, which we told you, put your kids through college betting on that game. There was just no chance that Duke or Carolina were losing their games with Duke putting it on Arkansas the way they did, and then, of course, Carolina against St. Peter's, which looked like varsity against the JV. So Hubert Davis comes the first head coach since Bill Guthridge at Carolina in 98 to lead his team to a Final Four in his first year. So it will be very interesting to watch how that game plays out. You will have a very experienced Carolina team, a very talented Duke team. Told you my feeling tournament time is I lean on talent come tournament time. It's not to say it always plays out, but we shared that before where you could think to great teams. You could think to Coach K's last championship team with Jaleel Okafor as a freshman having a dominant tournament. I could think back to Anthony Davis at Kentucky as a freshman leading that team. I could think all the way back to 2003, a great Final Four here in New Orleans when freshman Carmelo Anthony beat a veteran Kansas team with Kirk Heinrich and Nick Collison in that Final Four in the Superdome. So that one is going to be just fascinating to watch. It will pull a monster number. I don't know what the national semifinal numbers typically look like for CBS, but this has just got to be an absolute dream. Saturday in prime time to have Kansas-Villanova, which in and of itself would pull a giant number just because of those two programs and the name brand that they are, but then to go with Duke Carolina to follow, 3 of the 4 winningest programs in the history of college basketball this weekend in the Dome. It's just going to be monster. So I've told you I do like Kansas. I think the injury, the injury to Justin Moore, that Achilles injury to a team that already only rotated about 6 guys, I think is just really devastating for Villanova. They like to grind out games. They like to slow the pace. We'll see if they're able to do that in this game against Kansas. But, man, Kansas, I think, is just more talented. They're deep. They're veteran. Of course, Bill Self's a great coach. So is Jay Wright. But, the injury to Justin Moore, I'm not sure that Nova can overcome that in this game. So I do think Kansas wins. And Duke was my pick to win the whole thing at the start of this. I'm not going to stray from that. But we will delve deeper into these matchups as we move throughout the afternoon. Are we glad to have you aboard with us here? I will delve into some LSU basketball news here in just a second because what everyone feared has now become reality. Let me remind you about GMFS Mortgage, gmfsmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans. That's GMFS Mortgage and gmfsmortgage.com. Again, changing lives since 1999. Lower your monthly mortgage payment. Save money by skipping a mortgage payment or 2 when you go through closing. You could shorten the life of your loan. When Eric and I closed on our refi last year, we shaved 5 years off the life of our mortgage. I'll be done paying off my home 5 years sooner than I was initially intending to. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. All right, y'all. Well, when Will Wade was fired, I think we all looked at this as not only a possibility, but more of a probability. Every scholarship player from LSU's team a year ago has now either declared for the draft or entered the transfer portal. Today, Alex Fudge, Eric Gaines, and Amwani Wilkinson have all entered the portal. That means that every single scholarship player from last year's team is not coming back. When Will Wade was fired, I thought there were 3 players. I thought there were 3 players that they had a possibility of retaining. One was Sharif, because he had already transferred once. He's a legacy, Shaq's son. Thought he might make his way back. And the other 2 were the red shirts this year. And it just didn't work out that way. And when you lost Ezewiro and when you lost Colbert, it was it was evident that you weren't going to get any of these guys back. So the task for Matt McMahon, now you're kind of seeing now why, if it didn't make sense initially, why you just had to sign Matt McMahon to a 7-year deal, which becomes 8 years if they get sanctioned, which of course they will, because this first year is a total wash. I mean, he's got a hell of a job ahead of him trying to rebuild this roster. Now, he did add another Murray State transfer today. Trey Hannibal it is official. He is signed with LSU. LSU has formally announced it, so he's officially an LSU Tiger. Hannibal is from South Carolina. He transferred after 1 year at Carolina to Murray State, where he played this year. He was in double figures in both NCAA tournament games, scored 18 against San Francisco, and then 10 against St. Peter's when they were eliminated in the round of 32. But Hannibal is sort of an explosive guard that was an SEC player, left Carolina after a year, went to Murray State, and now he's coming to LSU. The interesting thing, though, about Hannibal is that unlike Justice Hill, his teammate from Murray State, this is Justice Hill's first transfer, so he's immediately eligible. Kendall Coleman, the Northwestern State transfer, is immediately eligible. Trey Hannibal is not. He transferred last year. He used his one-time transfer waiver to go from South Carolina to Murray State. So barring some unforeseen waiver that he may be in line to get, and I don't know that, but maybe LSU has something up their sleeve where they feel like they can appeal to something for the NCAA. I don't know. But based on the rule as it's written, Trey Hannibal's not going to be eligible for LSU next year. Justice Hill will be, because he's taking advantage of the one-time transfer, as will Kendall Coleman, the Northwestern State transfer. But Hannibal should not be eligible for LSU this year. So when you're looking at your 13 scholarship players, that would stand to reason. That's a guy that Matt McMahon looks and says, he's going to end up being a 4-year guy in college, because we think not this year but the following is when he'll be an impact guy for us. It's similar to what LSU did when Will Wade brought in Cavell. They brought in Cavell from Oregon. He sat that first year under Will Wade. He was eligible in his second year in Baton Rouge, and of course they won the SEC that year, and Cavell had a great season, was all-SEC, defensive all-SEC, led the team in block shots, was just a great rim protector. But that's clearly what they see with Hannibal. So right now you've flipped Cornelius Williams, the 6'10 center, is a 3-star, and you've gotten the 3 transfers, 2 from Murray State, of course, and the 1 from Northwestern State. So you lost 13 scholarship players. You've so far replaced them with 4. So you've still got 9 more roster spots that you have to fill for this upcoming season just to have a complete roster for Matt McMahon going into year 1. The gravity of this, if it hasn't already set in for LSU fans, should be by now. It should have set in to where you're looking at realistically what Matt McMahon is facing, and especially in year 1, where I don't know how there is any expectation whatsoever on this team. Literally, the entire roster has turned over. All of the players, literally all of them, they are all gone. All 13 scholarship players have left, either for the draft or in the transfer portal. So you are completely making over a roster and trying to convince players to come play at LSU when sanctions are most certainly looming. Next year is going to be very difficult for this program, this team. There's just no way around it. My hope is Matt McMahon gets a bunch of guys together that are team-oriented, that play sort of a team style of basketball. They load the non-conference with very winnable games. You're not thinking about net ranking or anything along those lines. You're literally just thinking, how can I put games on the schedule to where we can win, have some wins and some feel good, so we can be at least competitive in the Southeastern Conference. And then you start to build from there when you make your way through sanctions. But again, if you're just joining us, you haven't heard already earlier today, it is completely, the entire roster is turned over. Gaines, Amwani Wilkinson, Alex Fudge today, the 3 remaining scholarship players that had not declared their intentions now have. They have all entered the transfer portal, so all of LSU's roster from this season is moving on. Matt McMahon has a very steep hill to climb as not only he rebuilds the roster but continues to fill out his staff as well. Some rumblings that they might pull another assistant out of an SEC West school to join Matt McMahon's staff. If that becomes official, we'll certainly let you know about it if and when it happens. But he's got to pull recruiters, people that know the SEC, that know the region, and then certainly know his style as well. But no easy task for Matt McMahon. But he knew what he was signing up for. That's why he's paid handsomely. That's why he has a long-term deal. Like we said when he was hired, LSU had to commit to him with a long-term deal and a lot of money. McMahon had to commit to LSU because of that long-term deal and knowing what he was inheriting. And it is as bad as it could possibly be with all 13 scholarship players moving on for next year. All right, it is after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Theriot in 30 minutes from right now to start hour number 3. We'll talk about LSU's baseball loss last night, preview the rest of the weekend. Might get Theriot's thoughts on the Final Four, maybe even a little bit Ask Ryan if you want to get some questions in for Theriot. We'll do 2 segments with Theriot by phone in the 5 o'clock hour. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, we did a little thumbnail there on North Carolina. We talked about Duke earlier as well. Let's take a look at Nova and Kansas. We'll dive into that when we come back. We get to a lot of your texts, emails, tweets. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona. You can text the show in the 225 at 396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. We'll continue next on AFR.
AFR.
Better coverage for less money. That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net. You can call them right now, 293-0450, 293-0450. Or if you don't want to call, you can do the entire thing over email and text. Go to the website, lainsurance.net, click quotes at the top of the page or get a quote at the top of the page, fill out a little info. When they're in the office, they'll go to work. They'll shop independently for free to see if they can find you better coverage for less money. That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. There's no catch. There are no strings attached. There's no red tape. It is that simple. You call them, they go shop independently for free. You pay nothing.
15.
They see if they can find you better insurance coverage for less money. If they can, awesome. You switch. If not, stick with what you got, and you'll have the peace of mind knowing
10.
You're paying a fair price for your insurance coverage. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net for Insurance Network of Louisiana.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit dreams come true. And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these incredible kids, and each and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll ever know. And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we ask for your support in helping this incredible cause.
Our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more.
Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
If you follow Georgia on football on social media, they posted a picture of the college football playoff championship trophy, the golden waffle cone trophy. They posted a picture of it on social media, and the trophy is broken. It clearly has fallen and broken. And we've seen this before. Florida basketball shattered one of their golden or their crystal basketballs at one of their events. I believe we saw this at Florida State as well, maybe Alabama. So we've seen this before in the past where national championship trophies have broken. And so the official Georgia Twitter, the post on the official Georgia Twitter account is posting because I'm fired anyways with the facepalm emoji. And it's a picture of the trophy on the ground broken. Now, I quote tweeted and said, this is what happens when you're not used to winning trophies. Georgia hasn't won a national championship in 40 years. It kind of makes sense, right? You don't really know what to do, where to put it. You don't have a trophy case representative of something of this magnitude that would protect it from something along these lines. But then I started looking, again, I was curious if anyone else in the comments had posted something along those lines. And then I realized the date, and it is April 1st, which is April Fool's, and I'm kind of curious now, and it's like, is this an April Fool's joke? Muse, let's put it on the poll, please, if we could.
All right.
Let's make this the poll question. Have you seen the picture, by the way, Muse?
I have seen
the
it.
Georgia trophy?
Yes, I saw it.
Okay, what do you think, real or not?
Well, originally I thought it was real, and now I don't because you just reminded me that it's April Fool's Day.
Yeah. Which is why I hate April Fools, by the way.
I'm the same way.
I loathe this day. I don't know why people do it, especially and maybe it's only exacerbated because in our industry where we're constantly looking at breaking news every day. I mean, sometimes you get tripped up, and I have to remind myself. Like I saw earlier today, our buddy Ralph Marlboro tweeted that the Saints had traded Kamara to the Jets for 2 second-round picks, and I'm like, you're an idiot, Ralph. I know it's April Fool's because that's so stupid that doesn't even make sense. Like, this is one that fooled me because this could be a hell of a Photoshop. And it wouldn't, like, we've seen Photoshop videos of guys, like, jumping over cars. I mean, so it wouldn't surprise me if they Photoshopped a broken trophy. Like, that could be a thing, right?
Absolutely, yes, for sure. And I mean, like, Julian Edelman tweeted today that he unretired and was signing with the Bucs. Like,
see, that one I knew immediately. I'm like,
right.
That's not real. Julian Edelman is not unretiring. He's not going Eric Weddle. Like, he's retired. That's April Fool's, correct? Has that been confirmed?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's April. Absolutely. Nobody else is. He's the only one. Like, no reputable source grabbed it.
Okay. All right, good. So this is interesting. So if you would, maybe make the poll question if you want to, like, screen grab it or save the picture, then post the picture to comment if so people can see it if they haven't yet. But go put it on. That'll be the Citizens Bank poll question of the day. Is the broken trophy picture real? That from Georgia, however you want to word it, but make sure that we're aware of that. I'm curious what people think. But I don't know, man. I'm looking at the comments, and it's a little bit of a mixture of people not buying it. It's almost kind of split, 50-50 of people buying it and not buying it. So I don't know. So, Muse, what do you think? How would you vote? Yes or real or not real?
I would vote not real.
Not real. Okay, Paulie, what would you vote, real or not real? Jump on the mic.
Not real.
You're both going not real. Okay. I'm saying real. I'm saying it's real. Maybe I'm gullible. Maybe I'm falling for it, but I'm going to say real. I think it is – I'm going to say it is real, that the Georgia trophy is, in fact, broken. Because, man, it's possible it's a hell of a Photoshop, and maybe it is, but I'm going to say real. I am going to say real. I'll go on record and say real, so we'll see if anybody can get us some type of confirmation. I have one thing that I saw from On3 Sports. God, dog it. All right, never mind. Georgia followed up with a post to let everyone know it is not broken. Okay.
That's stupid. Get out of here with that, Georgia. Hope they never win another title because of that.
Well, there's a lot of reasons I hope they never win another title. Yeah. But I fell for it. It looked real. It's a really and honestly, it gave me a good opportunity to troll them with this is why, this is what happens when you're not used to winning trophies, which I thought was actually a pretty witty tweet. I'm proud of myself for that one. Maybe it's not very good, but I liked it. I laughed at it a little bit. But yes, Georgia apparently has followed up with a tweet saying that it's not real. The trophy's fine. That's, you know what? Kudos, though, to whoever did the Photoshop, because it's very convincing.
Yeah, that was at least a good April Fool's joke. And it was a new one. It wasn't recycled. Looking at you, LSU, with your purple field. Like 10 years in a row. Come up with new material.
I don't think they did it 10 years in a row. They just did it once, and then people kept other entities would grab that Photoshop and put it out there. But yes, it's stupid, very stupid. And now I always hope Georgia would lose anyway, but now I especially hope that they lose because that's stupid.
So do we need a new poll question now?
Yeah, I guess we kind of do, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, hell, I don't know. Just leave it, whatever. It
all right.
Really matter. All right, it's after further review. We're at the Coterie in the French Quarter on the corner of Decatur and Iberville. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. You can watch us on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. We did have much debate over how the camera angle will be. I wanted the street view behind us so you could see people and cars and action going behind us. The doors are open. It's gorgeous. But the inside of this place is magnificent. The ceiling is very ornate. The bar is fantastic. I love the light fixtures. I mean, everything is super cool. So we could have done that as well, but I don't know. Maybe we're back here Monday, same spot for OTB and AFR on Monday. So maybe we'll turn it around on Monday, or maybe we'll go outside. Bo, can we go outside on Monday? Can we do the show from the street, like outside? Okay, if the weather's nice, we might be outside on the street on Monday. I'll look forward to that. Final Four in New Orleans. The national semifinals are tomorrow. The preamble, the appetizer, and it is a hell of an appetizer with Kansas and Villanova. I mean, only Duke, Carolina could turn Kansas-Villanova into an appetizer, into an afterthought. But such is the circumstance. Bill Self talked about what it's like to coach against a Jay Wright team.
If you were to ask coaches across America, I think that played against them, he said, well, they're unbelievably sound, they're fundamental, they don't turn it over, you have to beat them, they don't beat themselves. And in our sport, there's probably more games lost than there are games actually won, and they're not going to help you beat them. So that would be something, that would be a great compliment if anybody ever said that about my teams. They probably don't, but if they did, I would take that as a compliment because obviously they're very, very good and sound.
Bill Self and the Kansas Jayhawks. Self, of course, had Kansas in the Final Four back in 2008 when they won the national title, 2018, and then again now in 2022. So his third Final Four his fourth, 8, 12, 18, and 22. This is his fourth Final Four during his time there at Kansas. And then, of course, Jay Wright was asked the same question, what it's like coaching against a Bill Self team.
They always play hard. They're always outstanding defensively. They're always very intelligent. They're great in after timeout situations, end-of-game situations, the sign of all well-coached teams.
It will be Kansas and Villanova in the first game at 5 o'clock, which will be followed by, of course, Duke and North Carolina. For Villanova, it's their seventh Final Four, their third under Jay Wright. 2016 and 2018, they won the national championship, and now again in 2022. Villanova beat Houston 50-44 in what was a just a heinous basketball game. I mean, it was a miserable product to watch. There's no other way to say it, but it was just not aesthetically pleasing. But that's what Villanova wants to do. They want to slow the pace of the game down, and they only really run about a 6-man rotation, and I really believe the Justin Moore injury is going to be devastating, especially against such a talented and deep team as Kansas. I do like Kansas in that semifinal. So I think we are going to see a Kansas-Duke national championship game on Monday. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us here. We got one segment to go here in hour number 2. Theriot is going to join us by phone in about 15 minutes from right now. Get his thoughts on LSU baseball's loss last night to Auburn, preview the game ahead. We'll get his thoughts on the national championship game as well in the Final Four here in New Orleans. Maybe even a little Ask Ryan if you want to get him in, so feel free to do that. It is After Further Review. We will wrap up hour number 2 with the Little Tigers and the Pros. Next, it's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, 1hourbr.com. That's O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. Our friends at River City's 1 Hour Air, they do amazing work, and that's why if you go read the reviews, which I always encourage you to do, they have more than twice as many 5-star reviews as the next closest competitor because they've been in business for 40 years, treating people great. This one came in. It's a 5-star review from Lonnie Blankenship. Said, Britt and Kevin did a great job. They explained what they did and why. They were excellent. Also had a neighbor stop and ask how I like 1 hour service. I told him your rates and service are 15. The best and should contact your company. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. You can take my
10.
word for it. You can take Lonnie's word for it, or you can find out for yourself. 752-0001, 752-0001 for River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but 2 NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front-to-Back Boat Service.
Hey, look what I found!
The motivation I needed to live healthy.
My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed. Time for myself. We found our why.
Have you found yours?
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. We got Carolina and Duke fans shooing each other out at different sides of the restaurant. It's all good nature, though, right? Yeah, it's all good nature, right? You really do like each other? No. They like me, but not the Duke fans. I had to tell them I have money on Dukes. They're like, bad choice. No, I think I'm going to be all right. Maybe not. You all can find me and heckle me mercilessly if not. If you can spell my name, you can find me on Twitter or any social media. All right, it's after further review. Muso. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
And we get it started today with some spring training baseball. Astros a 1-run victory over the Miami Marlins. Alex Bregman on the day. No. 1 for 3 with a double, his third double of the spring. Also drew a walk, 278 average for Breg so far, slugging 444. Very productive spring for A. Breg. And then how about this day from Kramer Robertson, Matt? You keep saying no. You keep saying he's getting the call up. Days like today, like today will help. How about 2 for 3 for Kramer? 2 runs scored, 2 RBI, including a RBI double. 333 average for Kramer in the spring, a slugging percentage of 500. No. He did not go to Catholic High. No. Okay. NBA G League action. The Fort Wayne Mad Ants and Cavell Bigby Williams. No. 26 minutes for Cavell, a double-double.
April Fools.
I hate you. 12 points for Cavell, 13 rebounds, double-double for our guy. Also blocked 3 shots in the Mad Ants loss last night on the hardwood. And then a little LSU on LSU crime. Former teammates Javonte Smart and Tremont Waters matching off against each other. Let's start with Javonte. 42 minutes in a starting role, 13 points, 7 rebounds for Javonte. Shot 6 of 15 from the floor, added 2 assists to round out his night. And then, it was Tremont Waters who stole the show, though. 29 minutes, 10 of 18 from the floor, 25 points, 10 dimes, 25 and 10 for the double-double for Tremont. Added 4 rebounds to round out his night. And that is Tigers in the Pros.
Calicut?
No.
Well, he should have. Brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged, really where all of Louisiana gets engaged. There are 9 Lee Michaels locations, 2 in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, even outside of the state. Check them out, LMFJ.com, a beautiful, sparkling, gorgeous, perfect diamond, and you will always get the Lee Michaels experience no matter your budget. Do not be intimidated. That's the thing that I have to stress the most. Just do not be intimidated. Walk into Lee Michaels, and you are guaranteed to have a magnificent experience at Lee Michaels. They will hold your hand and walk you through the whole process and make you feel great about your purchase at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, Theriot is going to be here in less than 10 minutes. Not here physically. He'll be on the phone. He's back at Baton Rouge as young Houston Theriot has a baseball game tonight. But we are in New Orleans at the Coterie, corner of Decatur and Iberville. We'll be back here on Monday, by the way. So OTB will be here Monday from 7 to 10, and then we'll be back here Monday from 3 to 6 for the national championship game. Awesome spot. Couldn't recommend it highly enough. Y'all hang out down here if you're in the city, if you're coming to the city this weekend or at any point for the championship game, or at any point, just come check them out. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we sincerely appreciate the hospitality. The food has been magnificent, and just a great vibe here. If you're looking for a spot just to kind of stumble into in the French Quarter, have a great meal, sit down, have a cocktail, ice-cold draft beer, great spot here at the Coterie on the corner of Decatur and Iberville. Hey, Muse, I got 60 seconds real quick. Give me your picks for the Final Four. Who do you like in the semis, and who do you like on Monday?
I like North Carolina to actually win outright, upset Duke. I like Kansas as well. And I'll take North Carolina to win it all.
Okay, why?
I just like the way they're playing. They're really hot. I like Manick and Baycott. Manic's ability to stretch the floor. They're dominant on the boards, especially defensively, rebounding, keep guys off the offensive glass. And Caleb Love, man, he could go off at any moment.
Okay, well, Muse is dead wrong, but if you want to go with Muse, you can do that. No, I just
we'll
Duke is so
see. We'll
talented,
see.
Man. It's so
30.
hard to ignore the talent on that squad, man. Just at any point, anybody on that team could go off. Okay, it's after further review. Putting a button here on hour number 2. Of course, our Friday shows are brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. If you're back home in Baton Rouge, check out Don Juan Cigar Bar. Great
15.
premium cigar, top shelf liquor, great spot to watch the games as well. Don Juan Cigar Bar. Okay, SportsCenter's coming up. We'll get you caught up on national headlines. Theriot when we come back. A lot to get to, including previewing Game 2 of LSU Auburn. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. No matter your age or your refractive issue, I say it every day, but it's true. But most importantly, you're going to get a world-class ophthalmologist. If you go look at any of the Williamson Eye Center social media, go look at their Facebook, go look at their Instagram.
20.
They almost
30.
follow the chronicles of Dr. Blake all over the country and really all over the world because he is so forward-thinking in the field of ophthalmology. He presents at conferences all over the country and all over the world. In many instances, the first
15.
in Louisiana to bring these procedures to the state of Louisiana. So
10.
check him out. Be at the Williamson Eye Center, WilliamsonEYE.com. Call 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit garciadidmyroof.com.
is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. At the World Cup draw today in Qatar, Team USA goes into Group B with England and Iran. The Americans' first game will be against the last team to join the group from a European playoff, Scotland, Ukraine, or Wales. That first U.S. game will be on November 21st. The women's Final Four tips off tonight in Minneapolis. Both games on ESPN and the ESPN app starting at 7 Eastern, with South Carolina playing Louisville, followed by Stanford and UConn. Tomorrow, it's the men's Final Four in New Orleans, Kansas against Villanova. Then Duke plays North Carolina. Blue Devils coach Mike Krzyzewski in his final season.
I've always taught that shared emotion is the best. And to be able to share that emotion and accomplishment with these guys have been it's been really good.
ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski and Kendra Andrews report Warriors point guard Steph Curry is confident he'll be ready for the playoffs. Curry will likely sit out the rest of the regular season, though, with a sprained left foot.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it.
Call him the riot, born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger, he going beast mode, baby he a beast though, what you think he supposed to do, you pitch a better reload, get the point.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot.
Here comes Theriot, the throw, not in time, Scudero delivers and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
104.5, 104.9 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN New Orleans.
This is legit, dude. Check me out. I got camo paint on my face.
Ryan Theriot hitless in 4 at-bats.
When it's 20 degrees, Matt, and you're sitting in a deer stand, it's freezing cold. You need a beanie on your head.
Our weekly visit with Ryan Theriot is brought to you by Bowie Outfitters. Bowie Outfitters, your home for everything outdoors.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We are in the world-famous French Quarter on the corner of Decatur and Iberville at the Coterie. Same spot will be on Monday. Final Four weekend here in New Orleans. 4 of college basketball's Blue Bloods, 3 of the 4 winningest programs in college basketball history. Winners of 7 of the last 13 national championships. Just an amazing win for the city of New Orleans to have not only the Final Four, but this Final Four here this weekend. I can tell you, just walking through the restaurant here, we're just in one spot here at the Coterie, but, I mean, there are Carolina fans, there are Duke fans, there are Kansas fans. I've seen Villanova people. There was even a guy who walked in here a little ago who said, I'm a Purdue fan. We thought this might be the year, so we booked a trip down here to come to New Orleans for the Final Four, and even though Purdue's not in it, we're here. You see a lot of that, and it's great to have them all. It's great to have all the visitors here in the city, and for what should be an amazing weekend for college basketball and for New Orleans. We're here open air. Love it. Got the doors behind us open. Just breeze. Just gorgeous evening here. Early evening in New Orleans. LSU baseball loses game 1 last night. A lot of what has ailed the team already this season crept up again last night. Theriot's with us via phone. Y'all have a go and enjoy the weekend. Our Carolina fans are hopping up and hopping out of here for the rest of the weekend. Theriot's with us via phone. Yeah, Brett?
Yeah, Brett.
We might have like a horribly long delay if that's the case. Hey, give me a thought real quick on this Final Four. Who do you like in the semis?
I really don't care, Matt. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know anybody that's playing on any of the teams. I think Coach K should get him one. I think that would be cool, just the simple fact that he's been so consistent with his hair dye over the years. So So to get him one in his last year, to get him one in his last year would be great. And actually, I take that back. I do know there's a freshman on Duke's team that I really like. He's a big freak. He's a good player. I don't remember his last name though.
Yeah, Bancaro is like he's going to be a top 5 pick in the draft, man.
Yeah, he's a guy. Kansas cheated, and it's just crazy how those guys don't get in trouble and they're still there and they've got a good chance of winning the whole thing, but they cheated. But they're not getting in trouble, so that's cool. And then Duke did too. I mean, they paid everybody, Zion and all of them, but they're not getting in trouble either. Meanwhile, LSU's basketball doesn't even have a team right now. We literally couldn't put 5 guys on the floor to go play against the Lambda Chi All-Stars. So I'm a little bit off college basketball right now.
Yeah, I know. It does kind of suck. We are working with like legit a 4-second delay on this. So hey, Terry, we're gonna call you back in the next segment. I apologize for that, but we're gonna be just because like this. So Muse, go ahead and pick up or hang up on there. We're gonna call Theriot back. It just there's no way he and I can have a conversation with like a 4 or 5 second delay. So when we get into the break, we'll call Theriot back. I do want his thoughts on the LSU game from last night. The lineup's going to be posted here for tomorrow or for tonight's game. Should be in about another 20, 25 minutes or so. But a couple of things that we'll touch on here very quickly. What Theriot was referring to there, of course, is the fact that today we did learn that Imani Wilkinson, Alex Fudge, and Eric Gaines, the 3 remaining scholarship players for LSU, have all entered the portal. So all 13 scholarship players for LSU have now either entered the draft or the transfer portal. So Matt McMahon has a total makeover to do here. He will remake his entire roster. He's added 1 commitment. He's flipped a Murray State commit, a 6'10 center. And he's got 2 Murray State transfers and then the Northwestern State transfer. So he's got 4 players on the roster so far, 9 more scholarship players that he's got to replace here for this coming basketball season just to be able to field a team. You give me a thumbs up if you have anything there. So we're still working on it? Okay, so all right, Bo's working on it there, working on a little bit of a latency issue, so I apologize for that. Sometimes it happens. You take a show on the road, you got a lot of different cell phones, a lot of different interference. It happens. It's one of the things that could be a potential variable that you try to plan for as best you can, and it doesn't always work out flawlessly. So we'll get back to Theriot coming up here in a bit. If you missed it, I'll just very quickly kind of give you my take on last night's baseball game when Theriot was back, kind of ask him to set the stage for the rest of the weekend. It's unfortunate, but that we saw again what this LSU team is. They're a very good offensive team with some elite bats. They are a team that does not have great frontline pitching. If Blake Money were my Sunday guy, I'd be ecstatic. And I think you could win with him on Saturday. As he's not right now a frontline Friday night guy. Look at what Hunter Barco was at Florida. That's a frontline Friday night guy. Blake Money's not that right now. That's okay. It's not to say he won't be next year. He certainly could be. Keep improving. Can even be better this year. But you're going to have to piece together your pitching weekends. One of the real positives from last night was Bryce Collins. Again, he gave you 3 2/3, went over 70 pitches. He preserved your bullpen so that you go into tonight with basically everybody behind Mikhail Hilliard available to try to win a game, to give yourself a chance to win the series in Game 3 on Saturday. But what we know about this team, elite offense, a lot of good arms, but not a dominant pitching staff. It's certainly not dominant frontline starters. And then defensively, they're just a liability. And it happened again last night. Auburn scored all of its runs in 1 inning. And it was an inning where maybe only put a couple of errors formally on the board, but the ground ball to Trey Morgan with 2 outs should have gotten LSU out of the inning, not giving up any runs. That's a ball that Trey Morgan's got to field. On the right side of the infield, you got to put your body in front of it. You got to knock it down. You got to make the play. If he can't run to first, Blake Money was covering. He certainly would have been there and would have been able to get that thing, get out of that inning with no runs allowed. And then who knows? Maybe LSU goes on to cruise to an easy win. But you didn't. Tied. Blake Money makes a mistake. 3-run homer, followed by an error by Doty at short, and now you have a 6-run inning. You have a crooked number that LSU couldn't overcome despite putting up 3 homers last night in the ballgame. So It's unfortunate, but that's what's going to happen with this team. It's just they have to be flawless to over the course of 3 games to try to sweep a weekend. So it's just not something that you can expect from this team. They need to be flawless, and they're not going to be. And they need their offense to carry the load to make up for a defense that's right now not good and a pitching staff that can't dominate games. So they're going to have to win in an unconventional way. They're going to have to find a way to piece together. A lot of people said that Jay Johnson left blank bunny in too long. I don't believe that. He made a good pitch and should have been out of the inning. After first and second, and then Auburn bunted, so it was second and third with just the one out. They walked Sonny DeShera intentionally to load the bases. You get the pop-up on the infield, and then you got the ground ball to the right side. I mean, you should have been out of the inning. You should have. You should have been out of the inning without giving up a run. Blake Money made the pitch you needed him to make in that spot, but the defense behind him let him down, as it has too much this year. So last night was an unfortunate loss because it's one you could have and maybe should have gotten against Auburn on your home field. But just like we saw last weekend, rally, come back tonight, get a win, and see if you can even up the series, find a way to steal it, win it through the back door on Saturday by winning games 2 and 3. So, all right, we'll knock out a quick break. We'll come back. I want to get Theriot's thoughts on last night. We'll look ahead to tonight and the rest of the weekend as well. Glad to have you aboard with us here. Stick around. It's AFR. We're live at the Coterie in New Orleans in the French Quarter.
AFR.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA certified techs. Family owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years. Front to Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
Hey, look what I found!
The motivation I needed to live healthier.
My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed. Time for myself. We found our why.
Have you found yours?
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, the Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Bowie Outfitters.
All right, we got Theriot back with us. Apologize for the issue there in the last segment. Yeah, bro, let's jump right into it, man. And actually, before I do that, let me let you shout out Bowie Outfitters before I forget at the end of the segment, because I know they got a really cool fundraising event going on as well. So tell the people what's going on there at Bowie right now.
All right, hold on. I'm looking for it. I saw it. You kind of caught me off guard there, big boy. But hold on. Sit tight. Here it is. Here.
Just talking
you ready
about
for
baseball
this?
then.
Are you ready for this, Matt?
I'm totally ready. I've been ready. I'm ready. Yes,
The
I've been ready. Yes.
The 100-bottle bourbon raffle. Okay, it's going on. Ducks Unlimited 100-bottle bourbon raffle. You don't have to be present to win. $100 gets you 7 tickets. You can win all kind of awesome bourbons. Everybody loves bourbon. You ready? $250 gets you 21 tickets. Bro, you get 21 chances to win 100 bottles of bourbon. I mean, come on, beat that. The people at Bowie, they just
you don't win. You don't win all. You don't win all 100 bottles. Like
you might.
If they draw your name, you win the corresponding bottle. No. You win the corresponding bottle that they draw. It's not like they draw your name and you get all 100 bottles. They draw your name and you win the bottle that they're drawing for. However, you should have just let me talk about this. However, unlike other raffles, you win the bottle. This isn't the right to buy. This is just right to own. So it's not they draw your name, you can purchase it at retail. You win the bottle if they draw your name. So that is one very cool thing about it.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but I do know this. If you buy 100 tickets and they pull your name 100 times, you win every bottle of the bourbon.
Yes, that is true. That is a fact. Okay, let's talk about this this baseball game tonight. Last night was obviously very disappointing. So give me a thought on last night before we look ahead to how they win the series.
Listen, I thought once again Blake Money pitched his tail off. Unfortunately, they had some defensive woes there, and it came back to bite them. And you see that 4 spot go up, and then Auburn takes the lead. Here's what you're dealing with the Auburn Tigers. You've got a couple assistant coaches over there, Matt, that I have a ton of respect for, that are really, really good baseball minds, and you're going to get a well-coached Auburn Tiger team. I don't believe they're super talented, but I also think they're going to give you great at-bats, and the pitchers are going to do what they have to do to execute the pitches. Gabe Gross is a longtime major league player, great hitter, very smart. And then you got Tim Hudson, the pitching coach, who's one of the greatest pitchers of my era. On that staff. So you're dealing with some guys that know how to play the game, and they're going to be well coached. LSU just has to execute, though, because at the end of the day, they're way more talented. We saw last night how one misplayed ball can turn into 4 runs. I thought, like I said, Blake Money pitched well. Thought he deserved to win the game. You got to catch the ball behind him. Period. End of discussion.
McHale goes tonight. How do you think that he matches up against the lineup you saw last night?
Well, I saw something interesting in the game yesterday where, Money has this thing where, second time through the lineup, he'll start off guys with first pitch slider. He has a great feel for that pitch and can control it. And I mentioned Gabe Gross earlier. They were prepared for that. They were actually sitting on that, it looked like, second time around. If Mikhail Hilliard gets predictable with the curveball, which is his best pitch, meaning counts and when he likes to throw it, they're going to hit Mikhail Hilliard. I believe he's going to have to mix up his looks, first pitch, second pitch type stuff. We always have an advantage when he's throwing that spinner for a strike. So, the only way a hitter can combat that is if he's looking for it and if he's cheating to a certain pitch. So, as long as he's able to locate it and mix up fastball, breaking ball, I think he'll do well. I thought he did great last week, and hopefully he can continue that momentum.
Why has at times he not been consistent? When I know you talked about it a little bit, but elaborate a little on what will get him in trouble, what to look for early in this game tonight.
Well, to be able to command multiple pitches in the strike zone is a plus for any pitcher. Mikhail throws like a 12-6 curveball. You've seen it. It's that big up and down bender. It's really good because it breaks a ton. But when it's not coming out of the hand super sharp, it's not good because you see a hump in the actual pitch. So when it comes out of his hand, it actually goes up before it comes back down, and you can see it pretty good. I feel like when he's been getting hit, it wasn't as sharp out of his hand, and the hitters were seeing it really early. Clayton Kershaw had that issue early in his career with the Dodgers, and then went to more of a slider cutter. Still has the curveball in his repertoire, but he actually went away from it where he was exclusively fastball curveball for the first 3 or 4 years of his career. Like I say, it's a great pitch, but if it's floating out of his hand rather than coming out real sharp, it is easy to see and you can hit it.
Let's talk offensively. LSU has been better against righties than they have against lefties this year, but just statistically bears out. It's kind of odd too because they are a right-handed dominant lineup. But what do you think about the LSU lineup, the way they're swinging it right now?
Well, I think, the guys that, and a little bit late in the game last night, we saw a little magic. Cruz hammers one there that almost got out, and then I think Bianco got him one that almost got out. So you saw some balls get hit pretty well there late. But, look, the guys that we've talked about that are professional players, possible major league players in the middle of this lineup need to play accordingly, and it can't just be one of them and then the other two struggle or other three struggle. Like they need to piece together some stuff because I think we're all in agreement. You're not going to win games 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 this year. You got to win. You got to win by slugging, and the guys in the middle need to be guys, and they need to flex their muscles a little bit. Trey's been pitched a lot differently this year than he was last year. Hitting's about making adjustments. Can he adjust to that inside fastball? I think he can. But also it's having enough wherewithal to know what these guys are doing and how they're getting you out, and then you combating that, right? Dylan's not swinging the bat the way he wants to. The good news is the guy's an incredible talent, and I do think he will get going. Jobert and Cade Doty really, for me, and then Jobert went through a pretty good little slump there, but Cade has been the most consistent thus far. But those guys need to, they need to start playing up to their potential, meaning, you got to put up some crooked numbers on guys and score some runs like we saw against Florida.
Hey, you talked about how they're pitching differently to Mikhail. Elaborate a little bit there if you would.
To Trey.
Oh, to Trey, my bad. Sorry, I'm looking at a picture of Mikhail Hilliard. Yeah, go ahead.
So, he does a great job of staying inside the baseball and hitting the ball up the middle the other way. He has that uncanny knack to foul pitches off and fight during an at-bat, which is great. I did the same thing. But pitchers are smart. and they're not going to continue to throw the ball out there and let you get base hits. They've been pounding him in, and it started in the A&M series. And I think a lot of that has to do with Nolan Cain, and he knows, he recruited Trey. He knows what he's good at, and he knows what he's not good at. So, and they were hammering him inside, everything's in. Some of those balls are off the plate. And offensively, I would tell Trey, listen, man, you can't cover the entire plate. However, with a guy throwing 95, you can't hit the outside corner and in the inside corner. But, again, pitchers aren't dumb. They're going to go middle in on him because he is so good at shooting the ball the other way until he proves, hey, if you come inside, I'm hitting this ball a mile. I might hit it a mile foul, but I'm going to get you out of my kitchen, right? And that's what he's going to have to do, I think, to make that adjustment because the pitchers, the book is out. I mean, that's how they're going to pitch him.
Do you think anything else, by the way, we didn't have a chance to talk since last weekend when on Sunday Florida hit 8 LSU hitters, and I mean that hit parade has just continued. I mean they're on pace to break the record set by your 2000 national championship team of number of players hit by pitch. To what do you attribute that? I mean, are they just on top of the plate and guys are just pitching them in? I mean, what do you think's going on there?
Yeah, I mean I think a lot of it has to do with the way they're getting pitched. Most of it. I do believe a couple of those may have been on purpose. Trying to brush some guys back, and the ball just got away from the pitcher. I don't think they're necessarily trying to drill anybody. I do think they're trying to pitch hard in. And my comment would be if you can't control it inside and you're hitting 8 of my guys, then freaking quit throwing it inside. And so I think that's kind of what we saw in that game with the 8 hits by pitches.
All right. Tigers and Tigers tonight, game 2, 6:30 first pitch. We're about an hour away from first pitch. Lineup should be posted here shortly. We'll run through it when it is posted. Theriot is here with us, as he is on Fridays, usually in studio, but we're here in New Orleans. He's back in Baton Rouge. So real quick, because we didn't get to it in the last segment, and you were just starting to make jokes about how LSU has no players left. Do you think, like, who would you pick? Kansas or Kansas Villanova? Who do you have in that game?
I have Kansas. I have Kansas because they paid their players
more. Why?
Because they paid their players more. Kansas cheated
because they pay their players more.
They cheated more than LSU did. They just haven't gotten caught yet. Nor will they because they're Kansas. Right.
No, they did actually, but they just didn't care. They gave their coach a lifetime contract, is what they did. Bill Self, lifetime contract. And then what about Duke, North Carolina?
So give me Duke, and again, I'm going to do that because I think Duke and Coach K, Squeaky Clean K, pays his players really well also. And so I think he's done a better job paying his guys, and I think Duke's going to win that game. I think they're going to win the whole thing. Again, just from endorsements that Coach K are going to get is off the charts, and I'm happy for him.
Totally legal now, by the way. Also, just throwing it out there. Nothing against getting the kids a little cash anymore. Like, we'll certainly do that with Hudco, right?
That's right. Oh yeah. We're going to throw every matter of fact every job that we do, Matt, with Hudco Roofing, we're given a percentage of that job to a collegiate athlete. We're supporting all the college kids, hooking them up.
That's called the Hudco Hometown Hero Program. So if you need a roof, hire Hudco, and we'll take a portion of the net on every job we do and commit it to an NIL deal with the athlete of your choice. So any athlete can get an NIL deal thanks to Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Okay, dude, enjoy the weekend. We'll see you in studio next week, man.
All right, man. Y'all have fun.
We'll see you. That is Theriot. This is After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, SouthPointVW.com, new and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. That's SouthPointVW.com. Weekend is when a lot of people get out and start doing their car shopping. Great opportunity. You can always start at the website at SouthPointVW.com, new and certified pre-owned. Remember, certified pre-owned, they have their certified pre-owned extended warranty and all different makes and models, trucks, SUVs, sports cars, sedans, whatever type of vehicle you're looking for, chances are they have it because people come buy a new Volkswagen, they trade in their old vehicle, and South Point offers it on their certified pre-owned lot, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. That's South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Okay, we'll let you hear from Mike Krzyzewski in advance of what could be the final game of his illustrious coaching career. That's coming up next, and we should have the lineups posted for LSU and Auburn Game 2. I don't expect any real drastic changes or maybe any changes at all, but we'll run through the lineup when it's posted, as LSU and Auburn are right at an hour away from first pitch of Game 2 out at the box. We are in New Orleans in the French Quarter at the Coterie, corner of Decatur and Iberville, and we're glad to have you hanging out with us here. An awesome dinner crowd. The early dinner crowd is starting to make their way through. The bar is getting packed. The restaurant, the dining room is getting filled up here. There's been so much foot traffic behind us all throughout the day. It's been just a beautiful day in the city, and we're thrilled to be here and glad you're sharing this time with us here on AFR. Stick around. We'll continue next.
AFR.
Hey, if you are back home or wherever you are in Louisiana, there's a Rouse's near you, which means you are oh so close to the best and most inexpensive boiled crawfish you will find in the state of Louisiana. Nobody has better prices on boiled crawfish than Rouse's because they have their own in-house boiling rooms, and nobody boils more crawfish every single day in the state than Rouse's. Think about it. Literally every single Rouse's has their own in-house boiling room, and they boil crawfish
30.
in greater quantity than anywhere else in the state. So go pick up your crawfish. You want it boiled? They've already got it boiled, packaged, and priced. So you walk in to Rouse's, go to the left into the seafood part. You'll see the hot and boiled kiosk. Grab your boiled crawfish
15.
and roll. You want live crawfish? They got you there as well at Rouse's. Anything
10.
you want for your crawfish bowl, including the live crawfish, they sell at Rouse's. At Rouse's Supermarket, find the location at rouses.com, where Rouse's, official supermarket of LSU Athletics.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit dreams come true. And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these incredible kids, and each and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll ever know.
And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we ask for your support in helping this incredible cause.
Our Dreams Come True Radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Well, we just had our workout, and our guys are excited. We're all healthy, and such a beautiful setting. I think when our guys walked out, they wanted them to know. Before they walked out, I said, just take a few minutes to let it all sink in. And understand there are only 4 teams in the United States, 4 men's teams who are going to experience this. So make the most of the experience. So.
That is Mike Krzyzewski on the eve of what could be the final game of his legendary career, the winningest coach in the history of men's college basketball. His 5 national championships represent Duke's 5 national championships, and he's going for his 6th. Of course, John Wooden retired a national champion in a championship season. Mike Krzyzewski looking to do the same, and in order to do it, he'll have to go through their most bitter rival. It's how in the world could you even script something like this? But Duke, North Carolina in the national semifinal. Duke is 32-6 on the season. They've made 17 Final Four appearances. As we mentioned, they won 5 national titles. Coach K's first and second back-to-back in 91-92. Again, in 2001 with that great team with Shane Battier and Jay Williams and Carlos Boozer and Mike Dunleavy. Won it again in 2010, and then their most recent title in 2015. Jahlil Okafor, a freshman, big, leading that team that made their run deep into March and then into April. This Duke team, though, has really caught fire in the tournament. They beat Cal State Fullerton in the opening round, a 15-2 game. They beat Michigan State 85-76 in a really tightly contested ball game. In the Sweet 16, they outlasted Texas Tech, and in a game where they rallied and won the last 6 minutes of that ball game to put Texas Tech away, and did so really at the free throw line. And then Arkansas really was no match for Duke in that ball game. Just when you look at Mark Williams, as dominant a big as he is on both ends of the floor, so good. And Banchero, who is a likely top 5 pick and could very well be the first overall pick in the draft, depending on what happens this summer. But he'll certainly be a top 5 pick, and he has just gone into takeover mode at different times during this tournament. I do like Duke in the game. I just think theirs is the most talented of the 4 remaining teams. And when you're the most talented, you obviously have the highest ceiling, because if your talent plays up to their capabilities, when you are clicking like they did in the second half against Texas Tech. They were 70% from the field in the second half against Texas Tech. They're nearly unstoppable. They are just a machine when they do that, and they showed it again against Arkansas. Mark Williams has been really balanced. Jeremy Roach, his emergence as a three-point shooter has certainly helped this team as well. I like Duke. If you're looking at their biggest weakness, they're last among the 4 remaining teams in adjusted defensive efficiency, actually just behind North Carolina, incidentally. But I don't know that that's going to be enough because at times when they have ratcheted up the defensive intensity, they've been really good. And I think that is going to be enough for Mike Krzyzewski and for this Duke team to get a win. Carolina, I think their lack of – I'm not going to say the lack of depth, but their depth doesn't – the quality of their depth doesn't match Duke's quality of depth. And when you go to the bench, I think that's probably where Duke is able to outlast Carolina. There's a lot of people talking about the pressure of that ball game. Is it going to be too much for Duke? Realistically, and you could go any number of ways with that conversation. You could say it does. You could say, well, they've been dealing with it literally all year because they've known all year this is Coach K's final season. I don't know that at this point it's really about that as much as it is just a young team playing in the Final Four, and are they ready for this stage? But it's cliche, but it's also true. It's why you go ahead to a place like Duke to try to win a game like this. As a matter of fact, Coach K talked about that, about the pressure, and how this team is sort of looking past and not focused on that pressure of winning for him this late in the season.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's much of a balance. I think that's part of the experience. I mean, these guys are competitors. They've won over 30 games and regular season champion. The thing about all 4 teams here, all 4 teams are championship teams. They've won their region, and now you have a chance. To me, it's an opportunity, an earned opportunity. And if you feel that it's pressure, you probably won't do well in it. But if you approach it where you've earned this opportunity to go for something even bigger, then you got a chance to play well. So that's kind of how we look at it.
And I mean, there's nobody better to try to instill that confidence in his team. And I'll go back to against Texas Tech, switching to zone, how pivotal that was in that game, in that moment, which really turned that game. And I just think when you look at the bench with Coach Krzyzewski and Hubert Davis, there's just a colossal gap between those two, their experience level, their ability as a bench coach. And Mike Krzyzewski's got the more talented team. He's got the better team. He's the better coach. They should win the game. And one more from Coach K, who did talk about the youth and how this team really has grown up.
Well, there's no question that you'd rather have an older team than a younger team. But if you have a younger team, you have to get them as old as possible during the season and develop a camaraderie that is at a level worthy enough to compete against those older teams. We were able to do that in these first couple rounds, because we played really, really good teams and programs. Michigan State, Tom's program is exquisite, and I thought Texas Tech was as good a team as we've played against all year, and Arkansas, and our guys have grown together really well, and they're at a really high level for 1 year, and that's why we'll have it. We got a chance.
If there is one thing I'll tell you to keep an eye on in that game tomorrow, it is Carolina's three-point percentage. The game at Cameron, Carolina shot a tick under 40% from three, which is just a big reason why Carolina was able to go on the road and win that game in Krzyzewski's final home game. But I will go back to what Krzyzewski said on the mic to the crowd after that about how unacceptable a performance that was. They kind of wanted him not to say that, the crowd did, and he sort of hushed the crowd because he made it a point to say, like, that was not acceptable. It was not an acceptable performance from a team that's trying to win a national championship. I think it's going to stick. So Duke and North Carolina tomorrow in the second semifinal. Of course, it's Kansas and Villanova in the first semifinal. Villanova at the free throw line is as good a team as they're the best free throw shooting team in the country. But I do think that when you look at Kansas and especially Villanova's lack of depth, and then suffering the injury they did in the Elite Eight, I think Kansas in their depth gets it done. Kansas, by the way, is a 4-point favorite. Duke also a 4-point favorite over North Carolina. I think both the favorites win in the games tomorrow. I think we do have a Kansas-Duke national championship game on Monday night, and I'm looking forward to being back in the city on Monday night to talk about it, whether it's that game or any of the combination we may see with these four teams. It's going to be a treat. It should be a great weekend. So get on down to NOLA if you can. If you are staying in Baton Rouge, by the way, tomorrow I will be, our family will be at St. Jude School. The St. Jude Fair is tomorrow. Shout out. So, of course, y'all know my wife Erica works at St. Jude, has for 20 years. It's a great fundraiser. It's a great family-friendly event. There's rides, there's fair games, there's tons of food, and there's adult beverages as well. So Chase Tyler Band tomorrow night at the St. Jude Fair. So if you're looking for something to do tomorrow night in and around the Baton Rouge area, if you are going to be in Baton Rouge, make plans to bring the family out to the St. Jude Fair. So we'll be there, noon-ish. Erica and Drew and I will be out there, so hope to see a lot of y'all at the St. Jude Fair. Corner of Highland and Gardier. So that's where we'll be tomorrow. So, against Chase Tyler Band tomorrow night, live music tonight as well out there. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all weekend long going on there. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. One more segment to go from the Coterie. The lineup's posted for LSU and Auburn. There are a few changes that we'll jump into here to get into before we put a button on it as LSU and Auburn game 2 tonight from the box. It is after further review. We'll put a button on it next. Stick around.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery for more than 60 years. Our friends at Clegg's Nursery have been serving the greater Baton Rouge area with 4 locations: Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Remember, tomorrow, expect some rain in the morning, but it's going to dry out for the rest of the day. So it is a beautiful weekend to get in the yard and just plant something. Spring is here. You want to add that pop of color to your flower beds or to your pots, your flower pots there on the patio. Awesome opportunity to do it at Clegg's. Full greenhouses. And remember, anything that you'd find at a True Value hardware store, you'll find at Clegg's. So if that's
15.
Rakes or shovels or floodlights or weed killer or anthill killer, anything that you need to beautify your lawn and your outdoor space, you'll find at Clegg's Nursery. So buy local, shop local. Be sure to tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
A shout out to a patron here. I don't know who it is, but they brought me a pour of Sazerac and said, this is a shot of Sazerac from the guy with an unhealthy obsession with the band Survivor. Fair enough, man. To each their own. But cheers. As we're down the home stretch here, appreciate Muse and Paulie back in studio doing a great job. It's really never super easy when we do a remote. There's just so many variables that come into play. Major shout out to Bo Wegman, who's been engineering on site. literally since, 6 this morning to get set up for off the bench. So big shout-out to Bo Wegman. And everybody's come out, man. Just an awesome, awesome weekend. It's like a 15 top over here. Is that a bachelorette party? Are y'all a bachelorette party? There, she said, "Hell yeah!" It was like, there you. What's the theme? They're all in black. What's the theme? What's that? Oh, it's a witch theme. Okay, got it. It's New Orleans. I freaking love it. Anyway, by the way, I should have mentioned, of course, Duke a 4-point favorite, Kansas a 4-point favorite. You can bet on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Remember, bet on any college basketball game. The team you bet on wins. A $5 bet. A $5 bet. Team you bet on wins. Boom. $200 in free bets on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. What better time now? The Final Four is this weekend. You got 2 gigantic games. You want to bet on LSU baseball tonight? You can do it on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Bet $5 on a college basketball game, and you could win $200 in free bets if your bet hits. Again, that's at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Now the disclaimer.
21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions. Licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-7-STOP.
All right, the lineup is posted tonight for LSU and Auburn. We're 39 minutes away from first pitch. The change in the lineup is that Joe Bear and Thompson flip. So you're going to see Doty leading off, Morgan batting second, Cruz batting third. That stays the same. Barry plays third base. Joe Bear and bats cleanup. Joe Bear, and this is because I would Muse, get in my ear here. Is Auburn throwing a lefty or a righty tonight?
Righty.
Okay, so they're throwing a righty. So Barry will bat left. So Joe Bear bat left. That's interesting, right? Because Jay said he likes to alternate the lineup to go lefty righty. It's interesting that they would go Barry against the righty because he'll bat lefty, and then Joe Bear, who's also a lefty, then follow up with Thompson, Dugas, and Gio. Then you go righty, lefty. Anyway, maybe just trying to move Joe Bear closer to the lineup, give Barry some protection, whatever the thought process is there. But so Doty, Morgan, Cruz, Barry, Joe Bear, Thompson. So Thompson and Joe Bear flip, and then Dugas, DiGiacomo, Travinsky bat 7, 8, 9. So you get Travinsky. The big power bat at the bottom of the lineup who just keeps leaving the yard. The shot he hit yesterday was a rope. I mean, through the wind into left field, just yanked it on a line right over the left field wall. So he has been impressive. And, look, when Alex Milazzo comes back, obviously he's going to be your everyday catcher because he is an elite defensive player. And you need that on this. You need defense on this team. I think we all understand that at this point. But Travinsky has earned a spot, and he's earned ABs, and you're certainly not going to take Braden Joubert out of the lineup, but is it something where maybe if you're trying to get Travinsky's bat in the lineup, you DH Travinsky and you put Joubert in right, and then Gio goes to the bench on that given day? Don't know, but that's something, or maybe it's just something to where Travinsky becomes your right-handed pinch hitter when you need someone in a pinch hit spot. I know we talked about that in the Texas game earlier this year, where Travinsky went up in a big spot with the bases loaded, and he struck out. And maybe that was an opportunity for him to prove his mettle there in that spot. But he certainly has since, as he settled into a groove. So LSU and Auburn, game 2 tonight. Hilliard on the bump for LSU. Hopefully he can give LSU a really solid outing, get them through 5 so they can pass it off to the bullpen. You've got everybody available except Money and Bryce Collins. If you need to bring back Gervais tonight, he only threw 3 pitches last night. So you can obviously bring back Gervais, and anyone else is available to you in this ball game. So it's got to be that all hands on deck, find a way to win this one, and then figure out tomorrow when it happens. But hopefully Mikhail Hilliard can get LSU off to a really good start tonight. And Tigers can even up this series, give themselves a chance to win it on Saturday. All right, just about going to do it for us here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. As always, we appreciate our friends at Don Juan, title sponsor of our Friday shows all throughout the year. Man, what an awesome day this has been. I can't say enough about Kyle and the staff here at the Coterie. They've been just so hospitable to us opening up this whole
1 minute.
wing of the restaurant to us to do whatever we wanted to do, to set up however we wanted to set up, and they have really just catered their restaurant around us. So we're very, very grateful, and this has been an awesome spot. It's filling up. It looks awesome in here, man. Beautiful night in New Orleans. If you're in New Orleans and you're going to be down in the Quarter, come check out the Coterie. If you're in Baton Rouge, you're going to make your way down either tomorrow or Monday or Sunday or any point this weekend. Come check out this spot. It's a cool spot that I've never been to.
30.
But it's a great spot right here in the heart of the French Quarter on the corner of Decatur and Iberville. You can't miss it. It's a block from the parking up on South Peters, so it's a great spot. We appreciate them for hosting us. All right, we're back here on Monday, by the way. So we're right back here on Monday, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. Moose, Paulie, thanks so much. Appreciate y'all's hard work as always. Bo Wegman on site, thank you for all of your hard work as well. Y'all have a phenomenal weekend. We'll see you Monday at 3 for AFR.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, I got to remind you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138, 288-8138, ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door, siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. This is a great time of year to call Relief Windows. I mean, it always is, but in particular this time for a couple of reasons. Number one, energy-efficient replacement windows. When the temperature goes up and you have costly air leaks, what happens is your home gets really hot, your AC has
30.
to work even harder, your energy bills go up. You understand that. Install the Energy Star products from Relief Windows. They will make your home more energy efficient, eliminate the air leaks, keep the hot air out, keep your home more temperature and climate controlled. Your energy bills
15.
will go down. Also, Cat 5 Storm Force impact resistant windows.
10.
So you don't have to worry about flying debris or intruders. It's Relief Windows. 288-8138, 288-8138. Windows, door, siding, ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.